Just kidding.
I love that intro, Chris.
I'm impressed.
It's pretty intense.
Every time I watch it, it puts me in a good mood.
It has to. It has to. There's a random child's leg. So sorry.
Karen, we're getting an
in
echo
the
from
chat.
you.
Oh my god. Life hates me. Is that better?
Hold on, let me see if I can hear an echo from myself. Hold on, am I echoing from Joy?
No, I don't hear you.
I'm not
echoing.
hearing an echo.
Okay. I think I fixed it.
Okay.
Don't.
That got
I'm not
crazy, and I was
jumping up
already
and
having a
down.
hot flash.
Oh no.
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
You look beautiful. You're just now coming back from the wedding?
Yeah, so we had an entire weekend. It started on Friday and then it went very late. My son got married yesterday evening, and it was a whole weekend thing, and his new family is from Mexico, and they had to cook us authentic Mexican dinner tonight, which was going to be brunch but then became dinner. And that's not one course. That was like 4 courses of meat. And there was no we've got to go. So
How far away from where you live is it?
it's only an hour and a half. It's like going to
Oh yeah, that's
Boston.
not bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Boston's about the same distance.
So we got into a conversation before we started this. Now tonight we're going to show the cross with Kevin Reddington from Friday. But we were talking about all of these comments that we're seeing online, especially on Reddit. I think, Karen, you said you saw it on Facebook or something.
Yes, especially
Where
regarding yesterday. It's like those groups. There's a lot of Lindsay Clancy groups, and I guess I added myself to many of them over the course of the last few years. And there are some groups that are nice and some groups that are like lethal. And some of them were talking about how amazing Dr. Mack is, what a great expert he is, how Kevin Reddington is terrible, did an awful job. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I would have named that the best cross I've ever watched.
Are we watching the same trial?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, that was
that I have seen thus far, and especially doing the show. I am very grateful that our chat is clean and more compassionate, but the comments that I've seen on other people's shows, it's like she red rummed 3 children, and people are totally forgetting the point. And the point is that this is a woman. And Chris, you know what I love about, and I'm so sorry for what you went through, but when you and Vanessa were on the show, what you discussed was so prophetic, and I've heard this from so many people. I've spoken to so many people, and for someone to sit there, I'm like, are you watching the same trial? Like, are you watching the same trial? And the fact that Dr. Mack, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but the fact that Dr. Mack is basically a pay for play, and he did not even renew his licensure in so many states. It was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Well,
right?
I just want to say, not to defend him because I think he's detestable. I went to college with plenty of men like that, and scientists are often, especially male scientists, are obnoxious. But if he's not practicing in certain states, there's really no reason for him to keep up with his license. That doesn't seem that shocking to me.
But didn't allow me to interrupt real quick, Vanessa. Did he not, Karen, and please double check me on this, but did he not renew his licensure in Massachusetts?
I believe I heard there was no new licensure in Massachusetts.
Correct. That's my point. He did not
Right?
even renew his licensure in the state that he is seeing her in.
A witness. Right.
That's what blew me
Which was
away.
weird to me. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It
I
doesn't take a
thought
lot to renew it either.
I thought the same thing as this comment. I'm like, put a light bulb in his mouth.
Exactly. Like,
Oh my
are
God.
you know what it reminded me of, y'all? It reminded me of, do you remember that game
What?
Operation? You know, remember that
Yes.
game?
Oh
with
my
little
God. The guy on
Tommy?
the bed.
Yeah, and you know what? If you hit too far on the side, it went zing. You know, this whole the way that Lindsay's was treated, the way that her medication, it reminds me of that game. Like, oh,
Yeah.
let's see, let's go over here. Oh shit, we just hit this button. Oh damn, we messed that up. All right, let's move over
Mhm.
here a little bit. I mean, seriously, it's the biggest cluster you know what that I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
I have
Oh
ever
yeah.
seen.
I think that Kevin Reddington did push the boundaries a lot, but that's kind of the payoff for letting as much stuff go as he did earlier on. Now he kind of has a little bit of freedom to do that. So I can see the argument that people are making that like he shouldn't have done this and that should have been objected to, and the judge is showing him favoritism, but
Isn't it that
But
if you let if the witness talks, then you can actually like cross-examine them on what they talk about, and he talked a lot.
yeah.
But
He sounds like an astronomy professor. If you've ever met one of those, that's what he sounds like. Yeah,
Oh
it
yeah.
was detestable.
Oh yeah.
The
The judge was annoyed.
something that Joy mentioned was that they're bought, these experts.
Mhm.
And it's interesting at one point, I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but you probably did. There's a point where it gets a little contentious, and he changes what he says based on the prosecutor like coughing or making a sound. And I don't think she was
It
cueing
did look
him.
like they made eye contact.
I don't think she was cueing him on purpose, but what strikes me about it is he would be receptive to her cueing him.
There was a lot of people that noticed that. A
It's
lot of
definitely
people.
it's definitely
I've
problematic.
watched
I
those
don't.
two every day.
Oh, you've watched them. Do they give each other?
I
Does she
don't.
cue people?
She hasn't. Not that I have not noticed that she cued any witnesses. However, there were a few times, yes, or Friday. Oh, my days have rolled into each other at this point. Where I was watching, like they would either pan around or you can catch like there are microphones literally right next to the prosecution table and the defense, but the camera sits over the prosecutor. The prosecutor.
Really?
How's that for? I don't know what
Well,
I
there's a-
emphasized on words. Yeah, so so it's like this. Like if the prosecution table is here and defense, well, let me go opposite, is jeez, I'm Karen. We'll just pretend, okay? Prosecution, defense. And they're next to each other. There's the aisle. The first row directly behind is the camera people. And the camera guy could pretty much reach out and smack the jury if he wanted to. So
Really?
they're right
That
there. They're
close?
next to the jury. Yeah.
Wow.
Very close. The only thing separating them is Reddington moved a kind of like a it's not even a podium. It almost looks like you're playing a musical instrument, and he has like papers on it. Sometimes that's kind of sitting there.
He uses
And
like a music
otherwise,
stand.
it's not a big courtroom. It almost looks like a music
interesting.
stand that's like kind of he's got little papers on it sometimes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a weird courtroom.
What read do
Yeah.
you have on the jury right now?
That's my
Okay,
that's
so
$1 million.
Sorry for the kids. Like she's watching.
No, it's okay.
Um, fascinating. Did I glitch? I'm sorry. The jury
Sorry,
is
you glitched.
very fascinating. I may have glitched.
Oh,
I called it.
details.
Actually,
I don't think we're supposed to know.
Yeah.
Get on. Take that. Yeah.
Karen, you're going through a bad spot, so we can get back to this. I'm going to start playing part of this, and we can pause and talk throughout the whole thing. But let me share it.
This cross, Vanessa and Chris, Karen, I know
I'm
you're
so sorry,
frozen,
guys,
but
for the
this
glitchiness.
cross was epic. I mean,
This is the best cross-examination I've ever seen in my life.
you and me both. Like, and I watched OJ. I mean, I watched so many trials, and Karen Reed, everything. But this cross was so epic.
All right, are you guys ready?
We are ready. I'm ready.
And I would just like to admit Dr. Mack's CV is the next thing.
Any objection? That may be admitted. All right, Mr. Reddington.
Dr. Mack, part of your evaluation would be an intent to investigate the person that you're being asked to evaluate for purposes of an opinion regarding criminal responsibility or lack thereof for the district attorney's office, correct?
What do you mean by investigate?
You don't know what investigate means? You want me to explain that to you?
You might
You're a psychiatrist that's employed by the district attorney, right?
retain by, yes.
Well, okay, so we're going to talk semantics. Isn't employed by, retained by, mean that you get money from it, right?
I'm paid for my.
I'm going to make the thumbnail for this like a cartoon version of Uncle Fester with a light bulb in his mouth. I wonder who will get it.
But look at, you know what? It's like, okay, so when you're in StreamYard, no offense, like when I'm watching the trial, I'm watching it in a different way than viewers are. And somebody kept mentioning his eyes. And it looks like he had a bald skull cap on. And his eyes are creepy. Are they two different colors? I don't know. This guy,
I believe
Yeah,
so. I don't know. At first, I didn't want to comment because I thought maybe he's blind or something, or has some kind of sight issue. But then in another picture, they look the exact same color.
Yeah, there's something really creepy with this guy. Were you in
maybe
court?
there's a shadow on him.
I don't know. Were you in court when
That's
he
what I'm
was
wondering.
there?
I'll let you guys know tomorrow. I will No, I'll see him tomorrow though, so I'll stare him down.
Oh, Karen's going to be there tomorrow. I can't wait to hear about this.
I will not. I know. There's so many things I want to know about this man, and then I'm gonna scan over. He's gonna be like, "She's a creep," because I'm gonna be like looking him all over.
Yeah, he's the thing of nightmares, honestly.
All right, I'm gonna hit play.
Okay, sorry.
I sit right up front too.
Normally, I don't even go there. Every one of us are getting paid for our time. Jurors, not so much, but nevertheless, you get paid for your time, right?
Correct.
I get paid for my time. The judge, Chrissy, Don, everybody gets paid for their time, right?
I imagine, yes.
So when you are retained by the district attorney's office, you are to evaluate an individual, right?
Yes.
And the individual in this case is Lindsay Clancy, correct?
Yes.
And you recognize her, do you not?
I do.
And you actually had a chance to meet with her and do your evaluation, right?
Yes.
And part of your evaluation, you had to investigate into who she was. For example, her education, what she did for work, friends, family, right?
I asked her about her life and I reviewed records to learn about her life, yes.
Okay. So you're in a mental institution investigating or questioning a woman who's on medication, who is there because she's suicidal and under one-on-one 24/7 observation. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
And you get the history from her?
Yes.
So did you talk to any collateral contacts?
No.
So how is it that you can tell this jury what her life story is? Did you get it from her?
I got it from her
What
to
did
the
she
extent
say
that,
about her
well, I'm
education?
sorry,
What did she tell you
what, can you
about-
say your,
Never mind looking at the charge. What did she tell you about the education?
Wait, listen. You look over there, you listen to the question, and answer the question.
Can you say the question, please?
I love that part.
What did she tell you about? I'm sorry.
Me too.
Yeah, that was
That was the
That
judge
was
really
good.
actually angry. That judge is not a mad judge. This is an amazing judge. He is a kind judge. I have never seen anything sketchy about him. No problems with him. He's very personable. He's like just has like a warmth about him. That was him actually pissed.
What was he upset about exactly, though?
So
Just
Mac,
him looking around?
Mac wasn't paying attention to Reddington. He was staring at the jury, and it's okay to answer to the jury because ultimately that's who you're speaking to. But
Right.
he was sort of like Reddington's still talking. He's paying attention to the jury, so he's not actually listening to what he's being asked. And the judge just kind of, I think the judge is kind of over this. I think that he is not a fan of this guy already. And I think as we see through, he's not really a fan of him, which he has every right to not be a fan of him. And he actually tried a case almost similar to this kind of case.
The judge did, right? And they just overturned it?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's not his first rodeo, and certainly not with this kind of situation either. So I know that he read up on Dr. Mack. So maybe he's just not a fan of Dr. Mack.
Yeah, people that act like him. I've met numerous men that act like this, and it's almost the reason I never worked in my field of study. But they're you can't tolerate them. They just talk and talk and talk and talk, and they're so arrogant. It's awful, which we get to enjoy.
Well, let's be honest. Look at Bo Peep and the Sheep. I mean, we still have rebuttal cross for Monday, and we also still have 2 more rebuttal witnesses. So, they were thinking that closing's going to be on Tuesday. There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah. Well, especially if
stop.
Reddington's gonna do this with all of them, and we still get more of this, and Reddington has all weekend to prepare.
Exactly. So Reddington is going to finish, because he didn't finish Friday, right?
No.
Right.
He
So
did. He rested his own case.
Oh,
But
yeah.
not-
we obviously the defense rested their
Oh,
case.
sorry. Yes.
He didn't finish with the rebuttal witness.
Yeah,
I
we
think
get
we'll go
to
back anyway.
So
I
on
think we get to
Monday,
watch
we're
more
gonna
Dr. Mack.
continue. Yeah, on Monday we're going to continue a rebuttal of Dr. Mack, and then
Mm-hmm.
the Commonwealth will have their cross rebuttal or their back rebuttal. And I don't know how long the rebuttals will go back and forth, but we also have we have 2 more witnesses, rebuttal witnesses. So if we wasted the whole day Friday going over just one, then on Monday we have to finish with Mac, and we have 2 more. So I do not see closing arguments coming at least until Thursday. I just don't. My opinion, I don't.
I hope somebody makes an AI video of this witness to like the Addams Family.
I will. I'll do it later.
Great. There you go, Vanessa. There, like Lurch, right? No, not
Uncle Fester.
Uncle Fester.
Uncle Fester. Uncle Fester. It'll be great.
Oh, I'll
Anyway,
do it.
I'm gonna
do it.
play it because we've got about
Okay, sorry.
40
Sorry,
minutes.
Sorry, we keep
question.
interrupting.
What did she tell you?
No.
And we'll go from there.
I'm happy to do this for hours.
She described her education in terms of being a hard worker through high school and college, and then going to nursing school.
Okay, where'd you go to nursing school?
I think the nursing school was through Partners Healthcare, I think at the MGH.
And you recall what the nature of the nursing was?
Well, she had always wanted to be a labor and delivery nurse, and she was able to achieve that.
So she worked as a labor and delivery nurse
That's my understanding, yes.
for a period.
Did they ever say what her original degree was in? I'm just curious.
I think she just had an art. I don't know. I think she got her degree. That's a good question. Nursing
Yeah,
is what I
I-
thought.
As far
I
as I
keep-
know,
I
it's just nothing.
They keep saying that was a second degree for her.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Right. So what was
I
the
don't know.
first one? I'm just
That's a good
curious.
question. Now I want to know.
Now I have.
If you can find out.
Yeah. If
All right.
anybody knows that answer, put it in the chat too. If anybody
All
knows
right.
what her other degree was.
I'll Google it.
All right. Type it in the chat if you find out, Joyce, so everybody can find out.
The
I
time?
will.
For several years, yes.
9 years, 7 years?
I'm not sure exactly.
Did you talk to any of the nurses that you work with? I mean, was she respected? Was she a hard worker? Was she somebody that was ducking out early or didn't want to work?
I didn't talk to any of her colleagues. I'm aware that she had been there for some time, and I did not hear about any aspects in which her work was deleterious.
Who would you hear from, them?
Well, one might have heard it from the notes from her spouse. It might have heard it from
Well, let's
the
talk about,
defendant
let's
herself.
talk.
This is so stupid. One may have heard it from her notes from
The
her
one
spouse.
mayhaves. The one mayhaves.
I'm sorry, that's funny. Oh, and biology. Maybe she was gonna originally be an MD.
I just put it in the chat.
I was
So-
wondering, or an NP, or even like,
She
Yeah.
oh,
earned
Quinnipiac.
her bachelor's degree according to everything in biology from Quinnipiac University in 2012 before attending nursing school. So
It's a good school.
Yeah.
Something I did want to mention about, because I'm convinced that this had more to do with bipolar disorder and less to do with
Yes.
postpartum psychosis. I've seen my husband when he decided that he didn't need medication anymore. Sorry to put you on the spot, Chris.
I'm only
and-
smiling because my dad has done the
no,
same.
Chris
so
is
that's me
Chris's
smiling.
story is epic. What happened to Chris is tragic, and I'm
But
so
but
sorry.
he decided to stop taking the meds while we were married, and he was insufferable. And I got to a and he has no self-awareness at all about it. If you tell him you're acting this way, he doesn't believe you. He doesn't know what's going
Right,
on.
right.
And I basically had to say, like, I met you medicated, you're going to get medicated or something because I can't live this way. This is awful. And it didn't go on for like years or anything. This was a short amount of time. But the lack of self-awareness and self-control that people have when severe bipolar disorder is unregulated is no joke.
Correct. Yeah. No, not at all. My dad, well, he was diagnosed when I was 11, and I'm in my 40s. So there were multiple times that he's had psychosis over the years, and the last one being 2023, babe. Yeah, sorry, I had to double check with the master. 2023, fall of 2023, and he went off all his meds, and there was the number that I have heard them say about Lindsay, and I'm like, oh my god, she was in a manic state, like the running a 5K after she has a baby, doing all the things like that, go to God, the things that she says regarding the children, all things that I immediately heard in my own brain. Oh God, that's a manic state, and I 100% recognize it.
It's funny too because they keep saying she was doctor shopping, when it seems to me, especially
I
after
can handle that when they say
especially
that.
after talking to Chris about it, she was just trying to find something that felt like it was helping her in the right fit. So she was trying different things,
100%.
not doctor shopping. She was trying to find something that worked, not shop for meds.
We all agree on that. No,
Well,
there's no shopping for meds.
Well, the fact that
crazy.
they say that she was doctor shopping really contradicts the original answer, because she was not doctor shopping. She was not pill shopping. She said to them, look, I believe that this Ativan, I'm becoming addictive. I believe that this is making me worse. I do not want to take this. Please get me off of this. So when you're pill shopping, you're asking for more. You're not asking to be taken off of
Right.
something. This was a complete and total
Right.
desperate plea for help. A friend of mine was an orthodontist, and he was so successful, so incredibly successful, but he in turn suffered bipolar too. And I mean, I remember one time, he had a place upstate New York and very successful practice. And he had a place in West Palm Beach, Florida. and he was on the water. He had a manic episode, and I'll never forget this because I was there. And he decided, even though he lived on that canal in a beautiful home, he decided he was going to build a swimming pool. And he went that day, rented excavators, all kinds of equipment, bobcats, skid steers, and started digging in his backyard with no knowledge of how to build a swimming pool. But I firsthand seen his mania. And unfortunately, when you're manic, and this is just from what I've dealt with from having friends that have unfortunately suffered this, the mania is so strong that it's like somebody who does methamphetamine. Like they're out of control. Like I can rule the world. Like, man, I got shit by the balls. Do you know what I mean? Pardon my language. And
Grandiosity, yeah.
grandiosity, exactly. And without the sleep, the psychosis comes. And unfortunately, after that, the depressive state came, and he was the best person in the world, and unfortunately he unalived himself.
Oh
um
no.
I'm sorry.
yeah, it was horrific, but I think the main thing that people don't understand when you're dealing with bipolar is that the mania, and Chris, I'm sure you can agree with this, is the mania feels so great. And then the prescriptions that were given to him at the time were lithium. And lithium,
Yeah, my dad was on that too.
very bad. Lithium, like, I mean, Chris, I don't know. I've never had this. Maybe you can explain more. But I know what lithium did to him, and it was not good.
I don't think Chris
I-
has taken
I've
lithium.
never taken lithium. I didn't want to take
Thank God.
lithium.
Thank God.
I take Abilify, and that's
So does my
okay. There's
son.
there's some motor things that can happen if you take it for a long time, but not so much like the stuff you get with lithium or like Seroquel. When I took Seroquel, that was like, I don't ever want to take that again. That was like a short circuiting my brain kind of feeling. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Lithium was
mania's,
frontline treatment forever.
Yeah,
that was the
lithium
main
was,
one.
but it was
Yeah.
very bad. Very,
Mania is
very
funny
bad.
because when you're in a state like that, well, especially before I got diagnosed and I started taking medication to kind of manage the states, that's all you know from your experience. So like it doesn't feel weird to you in any way. Like you're not aware of how ridiculous some of the things you think are. So yeah, it can be a really
They
dangerous
don't
state.
still prescribe lithium, do they?
They
Is
do.
that still
They do.
Oh wow.
They
Okay.
do. They tried that with my son. Well, first of all, they tried to say he had bipolar because he has major depressive disorder and autism, and they mistook those two as bipolar because of our family history.
Are you
And they gave him
serious?
lithium. 100% serious. First of
Oh,
all, they cold turkeyed him off all of his SSRIs because guess what? Not a good mix, even though they keep saying in the trial it's a fine mix or whatever sometimes. No, they cold turkeyed him that night, and they wanted him hospitalized, and he was like, I'm not going in the hospital. And my husband and I had to watch him for 24 hours a day for 2 straight weeks. Nobody was allowed to we had to watch him. And the deal was if he did anything or said anything or any kind of anything, he was immediately getting blue papered. And
How old
that
is your
made
how
And
old
what
is,
did,
how
what
old
did
he
was
was
your son at the
19.
time? Okay.
What was he, like 19?
what does blue papered mean?
19.
So you can
That's
explain it.
that's sectioned, where you're mandated to go into
So like a
protective care.
5150. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
yep, exactly. That
or
would be Maine's version of a 5150. It's literally, it used to be a blue paper, like an actual blue slip of paper that you signed. So he does not have bipolar, but they took him off all SSRIs, which he had been on for many, many years, cold turkey, and they put him on lithium. And I thought his head was about to explode. He looked like his head was going to explode. And after 2 days, I said, "Get off of that shit right now." Sorry for my language. And
No, you can swear all you
I
want on here.
I,
It's fine.
I said, "Nope, I'm calling the doctor. This is an emergency. You're not taking another," because he had brain surgery as well, and so it was affecting his nerves in his brain. And that was it. He got off of that real quick. But I still have it at home because I'm one of those people that never throws meds away. That, you know, how Lindsay has all these extra meds hanging around. I'm one of those people. And we never use it. My dad was on lithium for 20-something years. And then he got stage 3 kidney failure.
Just don't flush them.
From
We don't want them in the water
No,
system.
I don't want the fish to become... No,
Yeah.
I don't want anyone else either. Never.
There's going to be a lot of like sedated fish if you flush them.
Wacky fish.
Vanessa and Chris, I know that you all were so gracious to join us on Just to Serve TV. A lot of my friends have joined in this evening.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Carol, Jessica, Hippie. A lot of my friends are joining to support your channel, but and I'm not trying to throw the subject off course, but I feel it's very important for Chris to explain to the people that are listening right now what happened to you and what they did to you.
Yeah.
If that's okay. Because I was literally and utterly shocked and disgusted by that.
The craziest thing to me about it is it's not shocking to me. Like it was, I've told this story like anecdotally for a long time, and other friends I have that have had issues with mental health are, they say similar things, that they're not shocked. But to get to the actual story, so I was seeing a nurse practitioner. I was new to trying to get treatment for mental health. I thought I had bipolar disorder. I kept trying to tell this nurse practitioner that about the mania I was having, and she told me basically that she didn't think I actually had mania, that I didn't really understand what mania was. And I said no. She was like, well, do you stay up all night? Do you do this and that? And I was like, yeah, I do. All these things that like sound like mania are mania. So she prescribed me some medication. I didn't know what the medication was. Turns out she had prescribed me Celexa, which is an antidepressant. And when you're in mania and you take an antidepressant, it sends you into like hypermania. It sends you into not hypomania, but like intense mania. And I ended up losing a job over it. Like I ended up getting fired from my job because I was behaving very crazy at work. I ended up taking a couple of days off, and they didn't like that. They said that, you know, I was working at restaurants at the time, and they were just ruthless. They didn't care that, like, you know, I was having issues. They were like, you can't come to work, so we're going to fire you. But yeah, and she did that pretty much just, I called her and confronted her about it a little while after that to tell her I didn't want to see her as a therapist anymore, or as a health professional anymore. And she told me she pretty much did it just to see if I was in mania or not, because she didn't
That's
believe
insane.
I was in mania.
That is so,
Yeah.
that is so disgusting.
It's
That makes me
insane.
so angry.
It's dangerous.
Right. I was going to say, you could have died essentially.
Exactly.
Well, right.
I
He's
could've-
lucky
I had
he
real-world
only lost his
consequences.
job.
Yeah,
He
but
only lost his job.
Yeah.
That's lucky.
I
And
still
only
lost
is huge.
the job. Yeah.
But for a doctor, in my opinion, to be so drastically reckless with another human being's health, where you were saying, I am in a manic episode, and then they're going, oh, hey, let's just give you this because we think you're bullshitting, and then threw you into a manic, almost psychosis, and then turning around and saying, oops.
They were not very
consent.
apologetic for it. No, they were not very apologetic for it.
No, I mean,
It's against the law.
No.
That's not informed consent.
Disgusting. It's so disgusting, and it's so unnerving.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, this is. But I've heard a lot of stuff in this trial that's very similar. Like when you hear some of the way her doctors talk about the medication she was on, or they're like the way that she was being prescribed like a ton of different meds back and forth. They're kind of like they're not. They don't seem all that like it's weird to them, you know. Like they seem like that's pretty normal, and that's part of the problem is they're like so used to it being a certain way, you know, or they've gotten so much.
Right.
I don't know. Like there's so much like overprescribing of medications and reliance on medication, and not as much actual observation of how it's affecting people over a long period of time. They just kind of prescribe really quickly. So,
Chris, can you relate to a lot of the dismissiveness that we're seeing with some of the doctors that testified?
Yeah, and I mean it goes back to there being some like degree of lack of empathy for the other human being, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
just looking at it like,
I
oh well,
agree.
this is just like a case, you know. This is
Well,
just
that's
like
how that's
Mhm.
how we should get back to Dr. Mack, but that's how he is. Like
Yeah.
she's like
Exactly.
a rat in a
She's not sitting
lab.
there. Right.
Well,
She's
Right.
it's like she's not even sitting there.
Well, and how disgusting do you all feel that when we found out that Dr. Mack has only dealt with 10 postpartum depression patients since 2001, that he's more
That's wild.
an addicted gear. And if you remember, we had a guest on, her name was Lil, and she actually went into McLean.
Oh yeah, she was a
Yeah.
phenomenal guest.
That
She
was a
was
great
so
guest,
good.
yeah.
that Lindsay went into. And she said the same thing. She goes, you know what? They come in. I said, what do they ask you? She goes, they come in and they say, did you sleep? Yep. Did you eat? Yep. Did you have a visitor? Well, maybe. And that was it. So for him to sit there and say, and here's the other thing that really pissed me off. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to hijack your show. But
No, it's okay.
This is what really pissed me off. Was
But Joy, we should save it for until he says it because we're
Man.
gonna watch it. So
okay, I'm sorry.
if
Sorry. I
he's
get too passionate. I'm sorry.
no, it's okay. But I'm gonna play it. But like
No, I
at
get
any
it.
point, we can stop it and just go into it. But I want to wait until that's like happening.
Yes, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. This case just pisses me off.
I'm so emotionally invested that
Me too.
I am too.
if she goes to prison, I'm going to be
There's
devastated.
no way. There's
Not
no
that
way.
it should be about me, but all right, let's hear what
I can't
Uncle Chester
imagine.
has to say.
I just want to say the
Yeah.
jury piece, the jury part. I can't imagine. Did I freeze?
You
I
did,
freeze
now
when I
you're
started talking about the
unfrozen.
jury again?
I'm frozen.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
if
not
it happens
supposed
again,
to
I know
know.
I'm not. I'm done with the jury part. Let's try one more time.
Okay.
There are people on the jury who definitely. I was nervous for a good part of the jury, a good part of the beginning of the case, when that Bo Peeper, actually the twin one there, called out Sue Clancy and said, "Do you know murder is a mortal sin?" And one
Oh
jury
my
member went,
God.
Oh, that
at that
was so
moment,
sad.
I said, "Whew." That moment, the jury had feelings a lot. Because they're very stoic. This is them most of the time.
Was it like oh my God, did she just really say that?
Like there was a hand to the face. Like
Well,
it was a
attacking
man
her
too.
on her religion.
Oh, wow.
Was that Dapper Dan?
Uh-huh.
But attacking her.
Why-
No, I think
why-
it was the monster truck guy.
Why
Oh,
did she do that? I mean, she knows better. So I don't understand why she did that.
Here's the thing. I think she went home and wrote it down and thought that was going to be her like moment of all moments, and it was going to be in times.
Yeah, but on like a fundamental level, she has to know that you can't say that. Maybe this judge has
She's not even
he's
new.
not objecting. That's what I mean. She's not new. She knows. That's why I thought, is she trying to get this thrown out because she's losing? What's going on? Is she trying to
I
get
don't know. I feel like
sanctions? Is she trying to see what she can get away with?
I think she's trying to see what she can get away with because she knows that she's in trouble at this point. Her case.
She's losing the jury at every step, in my opinion. I mean,
They don't read the room at all.
no, she does not read the room. And the fact of the comments, you know, the religious comments that she made against Mrs. Clancy, the way that she treated the chaplain. But anyways, let's go back to this. I'm sorry, we keep it.
All
Sorry.
right, here, let me.
They
let me
like the
play.
chaplain too.
Sorry.
Talk about what might have heard it. Is the one you're testifying?
Yes.
Did you hear about it through the notes of the spouse?
No, I didn't hear about any way in which her work
Okay, so why are you
wasn't.
telling me that? Why are you saying one might have heard about it through the notes of the spouse?
Well, I think your question was, how would one learn about any deleterious acts or components of the person's work? So I didn't hear about any way in which she wasn't working hard and retained as a nurse at an excellent institution.
So basically, you don't know, is what you're telling me. You don't know what her reputation for work ethic was. You don't know what her hours were. You don't know what her reputation in her work community was. You just don't know. Isn't that right?
Combined with the records and also the report from Dr. Resnick, who described her own view of herself as being a hard worker, I don't know further than that.
So in addition to being a labor and delivery nurse at Mass General Hospital for a number of years, you know that she obviously was married, right?
Yes.
And her husband was Patrick, right?
Yes.
You know how many years she was married, right?
I do.
How many?
I don't know it offhand, but I believe I understand or knew the date when they were married, which may have been 2013.
So the fact that she was married, you know, that did she want to have kids or did she find them to be a burden?
She very much wanted to have children. She described that was her lifelong interest.
Had one child, Cora, right?
I can't hear you.
The first child was Cora, right?
Yes.
Did she have any delivery issues with Cora?
Not that I recall.
How about the second child? What was the second child's name?
Dawson.
How old was Dawson at the time of the incident, as we say?
I think he was around 4.
And did she have any issues with his delivery?
Do you mean the delivery or in the postpartum period?
I mean the delivery.
If I recall, I think she had a tear, which is called an episiotomy, and that was something she was unhappy about.
Sure.
Not called an episiotomy.
Medication prescribed to her after Dawson.
Thank you.
A tear is not called an episiotomy. A doctor taking scissors or a scalpel and cutting you open is called an episiotomy. A tear.
Exactly.
A tear. Oh my God. Even my labor and delivery aunt texted me immediately because now she's totally invested in this trial. And she's like, Mr. Freeze from Batman just called a tear an episiotomy.
I
Mr. Freeze
felt
from
like
Batman.
I heard that one too, you know, but
Ooh, this man.
okay.
Sorry. It pissed me off. I'm sorry.
I was offered an episiotomy, but the way she said it was, we can get this over with now, because I was at it for a long time. And it was like almost midnight, so I was trying to determine the child's birthday, kind of.
Yeah.
She's like, we can give you an episiotomy and get this over with now, but I think you'll be all right. And I was like, okay. And then I got a tear, which I also was not happy with, because you have to, this is gross, you have to pee into a bowl of water for like 2 weeks because it hurts so bad. Yeah, so I can see where she wasn't pleased with that. It sucks.
Yeah, I had a tailbone break and a nice tear from one of my kids at the same time.
Wait.
A tailbone? Wait, what? A tailbone break?
Yeah, that's the one I had on the sidewalk standing up.
I just realized
What?
this. So
I
he's
know
about
you
to
weren't
get
kids.
Yeah.
he's about to get into all of his experience, right?
Yes. Just wait.
But he doesn't know the difference between a tear and an episiotomy. He has all this experience with mothers and babies.
He has no experience with mothers and babies, for the
No.
love of Peter, Paul, and Mary's sake.
No, if he
No,
did,
Remember, he saw one
Since
once from a
2001.
window. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, the only experience he has with women are the ones he's trying to get on Tinder. Let's face it.
no, the one he's paying for. He's never actually seen a vagina.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No, I'm sure he.
No, he couldn't have.
Yo,
he did,
oh
it's paid
my
for.
goodness gracious.
I mean, would you go on a date with this guy?
Hear
He's
that, Matt?
insufferable.
No, he's freaky.
I would immediately jump out the window myself and call.
Oh,
That's actually not funny.
January.
But what I was
Like-
thinking was, hold on, the ADHD and autism. So excuse me for a moment. Hold on. Oh my God, in my brain, I pictured running to the bathroom, jumping out the window, running away, and never seeing him again. Not anything like that. I apologize.
Listen, I would hop into a car with Ted Bundy before this guy.
Yeah,
he almost looked
Ted
like
Bundy was
a creeper.
Ted Bundy was
Like-
hot. I'm sorry.
yeah. Ted Bundy was really good
And he was
looking.
nice.
That's
He was
the difference.
nice most of. Yeah, and he was
He was
nice when he wasn't
nice.
killing.
God, we're evil.
I think
He
I
answered
think charming.
he answered the S-Aside hotline.
Oh my
He
god!
actually worked and answered for the Aside hotline.
Who
All right,
did?
let's
Ted Bundy.
Let's
okay,
watch-
Sorry.
Ted
Okay.
Bundy. Sorry.
Let's watch this heartthrob that is Kevin Reddington.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
I know, I was trying to psych you guys out.
You
That was
mean
like,
psychiatric medication?
Sure.
At some point, I think she was prescribed an antidepressant medication in that period.
What was it?
I think it was sertraline.
And do you know whether she took it?
She has told us that she did not.
And when she went home, after having the baby, Dawson, she then came home to a little daughter, obviously, Cora, had Dawson as an infant, correct?
Yes.
And was she living in a town, or where was she living when she had these two kids?
I think she was living in the same house in Duxbury.
She was living in Weymouth, or?
She may have been. I'm sorry, I don't know.
That's all right. So at some point, she moves to Duxbury, she's with her husband, and she goes back to work, does she?
Yes.
You didn't make any, in your investigation, you didn't come across any information that she didn't want to go back to work because she was lazy or just didn't want to work, right?
No, I think she always wanted to work.
Did she have anxiety about going back to work after Callan, the third child?
After Callan?
Yeah, Callan. It's Callan, C-A-L-L-E.
Yes. She wanted to go back. As August and September arrived, she was hopeful to go back to work, but she became anxious about working. There were other factors too. She became anxious.
No other factors yet. We'll get to the other factors. Why was she anxious about going back to work?
I was about to say,
Go ahead.
she was anxious about the well-being and nurturance of her children as she went back to work. One being that the baby was not taking a bottle. Another, that in that span between the point that her husband went back to work and she was expected to go back to work, it was overwhelming to have 3 young children that she was caring for all by herself. As time went on, she was ambivalent about hiring somebody to help, hiring a nanny, and that was another area of anxiety. So there were several areas of anxiety, and as we've discussed earlier today, anxiety was something that she had
Okay,
throughout her
I'm
life.
going to pull you in, okay? This is a cross-examination, sir. I gave you
All
a
right,
little-
next, just ask the next question.
So when you say that she had anxiety, and the anxiety was about having her youngest child, Callan, correct?
Yes,
She was anxious about going back to work, correct?
yes.
But you also, as you were waxing eloquently, indicated that she was having anxiety about having a nanny.
Yes.
What was she anxious about with the?
I wish you would have said waxing poetically, but I'll take it. That was hilarious.
oh my God, it was amazing. He's just like, he says words that mean nothing because he's so dumb and like literally knows nothing about this topic that he adds in other words in hopes that the jury just thinks he's smart. Seriously, that's why I'm convinced.
I'm
Sorry,
like,
I'm
mean.
still here. My
Serious.
doggy is just my doggy
That's
is
okay.
going a little haywire. I am still here. Sorry.
give the puppy some kisses. Maybe that'll help.
Yes.
I will, but they're going a little haywire, so I'm off camera. I'll be right back on.
Meanwhile, Joy on camera is gorgeous.
Right? Hottie.
I know.
Oh my gosh, y'all.
I just want to apologize. I've been having like a perimenopausal hot flash for like 40 minutes, and I keep like my clothes are sticking.
it's
It's
awful.
gross. What are you gonna do?
Take them off. Take them off. I
In
keep
my
dripping too
understanding,
over here. So
hot flashes and driving down the road like a damn dog with my head out the window.
Anxiety with the nanny.
So through my evaluation, what I understood was that there was ambivalence about having a nanny, that is to say, having somebody who helped. There was some degree of wanting to be able to handle the children on her own. The other part of it is some ambivalence about other people other than herself or perhaps her mother caring for the children. Because I know that my evaluation discerned that she felt very positively about her ability to take care of her children, but also some ambivalence about other people taking care of the children.
What time frame are we talking about? Summertime?
that
Fall?
seems normal to me.
The end of summer, late August, early.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little bit of a control freak. Chris, do not comment, please. I'm a little bit of a control freak, and I'm, I want to do things myself. So I totally relate to this. And I don't think it's unusual.
She and I were in the same parenting group. I don't think it is at all. That's why they keep talking about her parenting. So she and I were in the same Facebook parenting group, Attachment Parenting for the Littles. And the whole premise behind attachment parenting is like your kids are literally attached to you. You wear them, you care for them, you're their main person. Like, it's just how it is. And you're nursing. That's why you sort of get support on how to survive while being the main being the main person. And so none of that seemed abnormal at all. The way they keep trying to make it abnormal pisses me off too.
Sorry, I'm just doing comments. Chris, can you
Oh,
do
that's okay.
comments? Can you keep track of them so you can put them up? Because they're showing comments from both of our streams. Since we seem to be talking a lot more than you, which is fine. You're a
Sorry.
good producer.
Late September.
Isn't it true that in the summer, she and Patrick and the kids felt that they were on top of the world, having a great summer, right?
Well, that's what she said. That's her quote.
Okay. And then come the fall, towards the end of September, that's when she started to have symptoms of anxiety, right?
Yes,
But to this point in your investigation, you have a young woman who was a nurse for a number of years, we assume from your investigation, a good reputation as a hard worker, right?
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, one of the things that you had mentioned is that she was, how about exercise? Did she like to do exercise?
Yes, in the past, exercise was.
Yes, right? Yes?
Can you repeat the question?
Sure, I can repeat the question. I ask you, sir,
I'm objecting because he's interrupting the witness and not letting him answer
The
the question.
question called for yes or no answer. All right? And so, go ahead.
go ahead.
Can you state the question, please?
Sure. You mentioned in direct examination for the DA that she was like to do exercise, correct?
Yes.
And would you consider a person who is an exercise aficionado, especially a woman who, for example, runs, let's say, a 5K or a 5-mile road race within about a couple of weeks after having a baby? Is that hyper-exercise?
It's not.
Hypomanic? Yeah.
In of itself, it's not hypomanic, no.
How about if there's a string of exercise that is a little bit out of the norm, coupled with
Please.
decluttering, removing personal property from the home, cleaning out the home, things of that nature? Would that be hypomanic in your opinion?
Not in of itself, but are you talking, when you were asking about exercise, were you talking about in the period 2022 or 2020?
2022.
Okay.
After Callan. Okay? And I asked you about
The way
running.
he said it. We all said it in our head.
Okay? You with me?
Yes, I am.
So would you suggest, sir, that that is something that one would at least anticipate, consider, or investigate as being this manic or hypomanic that you're talking about?
No.
So, by the way, one of the questions that you were asked, sir, is that when you got involved with investigating this case, do you recall that from the DA?
So
Do you recall that from the DA?
the term investigate, if it's okay, I'll use the term evaluate.
When you got
but,
appointed or retained by the
Right.
DA?
So, and your question is?
My question is, when were you retained by the district attorney, the prosecutors?
Was sometime in early 2025.
Early 2025. So like what, February, January?
Can he not go like this before he says everything?
The lip smacking makes me nuts.
Yeah.
It literally
so
makes my
annoying.
autism tizzy. I'm getting tizzier by the second. Like, I'm over here like getting hives.
Oh, the lip.
I'm gonna, like-
lip smacking. Mouth
Hold on.
noises drive me nuts.
Ugh.
Like,
Ugh.
stop.
I can't wait for tomorrow when I get to hear it live
Think-
again. There.
Oh, really,
Exciting.
Karen? So we might have to. Okay,
You might have
Chad.
to bail me out.
Right now, if we need to have Karen's defense fund because she will be in court tomorrow, please.
Reddington
I'm gonna
already
be
promised he would be
scanning.
my defense attorney.
I'm going to be scanning the courtroom to see if I can spot Karen.
I'm always like right behind the camera guy, so they never actually show me because I'm literally like right behind.
Is it a
So he
good?
never-
It's a good view though, right?
I see everybody's faces. Like I
I
can see
love it.
Lindsay, I can see Reddington, I can see the peepees, the Bo peepers, whatever they are. I can see the jury, the judge, and the witness.
Okay, before you start again, real quick question. On Friday with the cross of Mr. Reddington, I would have freaking paid $100 just to have seen Bo Peep in the sheep's face. Because I mean, the other day when they got so mad and they were throwing everything down, and it was like when Reddington was crossing Mac, it was like, this was epic. And I was like, damn,
Mhm.
can someone just pan on their faces? That's all I wanted to see was their
No.
face. I mean, Bo Peep and the sheep, I mean, they probably need to be sheared after that. I was like, holy shit.
Well, he's about to get into the Andrea Yates connection.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes.
All right,
yes.
here we
Okay.
go.
All right.
I think the reach out had occurred in maybe December of 2024, and I think that the retention was early in 2025.
What's a reach out
Well, the communication, the reaching out
from?
from the district attorney's office.
Okay. And then when you were asked that question, you indicated that you had to wait for a motion to be filed or something with the court. Do you recall answering that question?
No.
Well, if I suggest to you, sir, it was in December of 2024 that a notice of lack of criminal responsibility was filed. Does that seem to fit with the reach out?
Objection. Can we approach?
Sure.
Did you hear them?
I heard them, but I don't know what they said.
There were a couple times that I could hear a couple words come out. It had something to do with, obviously, with whatever he was saying. But yeah, sometimes you can catch certain little phrases because they're like, the camera is right there.
They also don't mute their mic.
No,
Never.
they're getting caught on hot mic moments all the time.
Over and over.
Yeah.
Do they have the ability to mute it?
I would venture to say yes, because Reddington talks to Lindsay and he's actually talking to her, and we don't pick up on that. He has the same mic in front of his face. Oh, she said ask for a sidebar. That's what she loves, a sidebar.
Sidebar.
It's too much.
Bye. Give me a bye.
All right,
You know
let
what?
me scooch ahead a little bit.
I'm sorry, but the only sidebar she's at is every one she passes.
Oh my
At the
god.
buffet.
Yeah. She's like, oh, there's a sidebar.
Yeah.
I'll stop.
She has a membership to Club Golden Corral.
Yeah, I like Golden Corral. Don't be hating on Golden Corral.
Thank you, Judge. So, your understanding of the procedure is that a notice has to be given to the court that a person, like Lindsay, is raising the issue of criminal responsibility, correct?
I imagine that's the case, but I don't know the procedure here in Massachusetts in that regard.
Okay, you don't know the procedure?
The procedure for making notice?
Right.
No, I do not.
If I tell you, sir, that the notice is filed in December of 24, when was it that you had the reach out?
The first communication about the case was in, as I said a few minutes ago, in late 2024.
And do you recall the circumstances of that communication? DA call you, a letter, or what?
No, I was contacted through a retention firm called Park Dietz and Associates.
Dietz?
Mhm.
He's a psychiatrist, isn't he?
It sounds like you know him.
I do know him. And actually, Park Dietz is a rather famous psychiatrist, is he not?
Yes.
He's testified in many cases, correct?
Yes, but
Overruled.
I said Park Dietz and Associates. I didn't say Park Dietz himself.
Okay, well, you know Park Dietz, I imagine, right?
I do.
Yeah. And you know that he's a guy that testified in a case and cited a Law and Order episode that didn't exist at the time he gave his opinion. So is he still active?
I'm so glad he got that in, and he's gonna stop him. But
Oh
I
yeah, that was
guarantee
like
you
quick.
there's
Love
somebody-
that.
Everybody knows about Andrea Yates and the Law and Order thing. I would think
Exactly.
anybody over 40. So how many women
Pretty much
meet
the
that
whole jury.
description? Oh yes.
Well, the fact that
Almost all the women except maybe one. I would say at least there's one that is maybe late 20s. God forbid she's not. I'm so bad saying that. She is the only one I could think of that isn't probably 40.
Well, the fact that when they brought up the whole Park Dietz thing and him contributing it to Andrea Yates unaliving her children, that episode
He
aired.
didn't say it though.
Yeah,
But
well,
I don't think he needs to.
that episode aired after Andrea.
Yeah.
Did-
Like
did-
2 years after.
Exactly. Exactly. And I love, you know what I love about I think it's George Perham is
I love this comment.
He is, what's the comment? Oh, shoot, doggy barking. Sorry.
It's okay.
It's okay. All right, let's get back to K-Shred.
Okay, let's do. Sorry,
all
doggy barking.
Objection.
Sustained.
Is he a psychiatrist now?
Yes, he's a psychiatrist.
And on your letterhead, it says Park Dietz, Dietz and Associates, forensic experts, right?
I can't see what you're looking at, but that's what the letterhead basically says.
Matt, right?
I am.
Okay, and this is your curriculum vitae, right?
Yes.
And in big letters up above, it says Park Dietz and Associates, right?
Yes.
Now, how does that work? You get a call from this retention group, Park Dietz, and then you get assigned a case?
When an attorney or a district attorney's office contacts them, they might think that it might be a case that I might want to be retained on.
Okay, do they?
Do you know what
Try to get
is
someone
not
that's,
in his curriculum vitae?
What?
Postpartum depression, psychosis, any of it. None of it. It's not in there at all. Zero.
No,
I've-
and he's going to get into his experience in a minute where he's talking about like all of these hospitals and pregnant women and women that have recently given birth, but Lindsay doesn't meet that description at all. What about women that are 8 months postpartum? When did you work with them?
Well, you want to hear something that I don't know if y'all picked this up or not, but one thing I found that he said that was fascinating was he was like, most women, according to him, have postpartum within the first 3 or 4 months of delivery, which was completely contradicted, especially by our guest Lil. I mean, Lil, it did not really hit her until 6 to 7 months after having her baby. And I personally have a friend in upstate New York, very good friend of mine. I was her bridesmaid. When she had her baby, she was perfectly fine. And I think it was about 4 or 5 months after having her baby, something just like snapped and the postpartum hit in, and she was not even allowed to be around her baby for the fear of the baby's safety alone. And that did not hit her until somewhere between 4 and 6 months after childbirth. So he's completely contradicting himself. He doesn't know anything about it. He's a drug, and his primary focus is drug and alcohol. So
right, marijuana and
Your
whatnot.
hormones change dramatically when you stop breastfeeding.
Right.
Well, for me, I never breastfed because my son didn't take to it. But I can remember waking up. It was like a weekend, and mind you, I was never supposed to be able to have children. So my son was literally a gift from God. And I remember waking up one day and I was just crying, crying. I didn't think that the human body had that many tears. And I can remember calling my ex-husband and going, "Can you please come home? I was crying so bad." And he's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "I don't know," because I'm looking at my gift from God. I'm looking at my beautiful child. And then I called my sister and I'm like, "What is going on?" My sister's like, "Oh, you have the baby blues." And I'm like, "What? The baby? What the frick is that?" And I'm telling you, Mackenzie Shirella hitting that brick wall, that's as fast as it came on.
Mm-hmm.
It lasted like a week and a half. By the grace of God, I did not experience what you all have. And I'm very sorry for anybody who's experienced that. But like a week and a half later, I went to bed, I woke up, and everything was just fine. I think we're the healthcare profession.
I snapped right out of mine too, but mine lasted maybe a little bit over a month total. Sometimes it was worse than other times. Sometimes it was really dangerous. I probably shouldn't have been around my baby, but I just lied to everybody. All my
Well,
Like
of course,
most
doctors-
women do.
you're afraid your
All-
baby's going to be taken away.
right. I had a teenager too. So if I'm dangerous, they're going to take both kids. Like, what's going to happen? And I'm like,
Exactly.
I
It's
can, but I'm like, I'll be okay. I won't do anything bad, But and then it was just something scary happened, and it snapped me right out of it.
But
really fast.
That's the people. That's the whole point. Everybody's like blaming Lindsay and blaming everything. But you know what? When you come forward, first of all, you're afraid that you're going to be locked up. Your child's going to be taken away from you. You don't understand it. When I called up my sister and I told my sister what was going on, she's like, "You have the baby blues," and I'm like, "What? Why?" This is my question. And my son was born in 1990. Why does no doctor come in and sit down before you leave? I mean, obviously they give you all kinds of pamphlets when you leave the hospital. Who the frick is going to read them? You're excited about having your baby. But why doesn't anybody sit there and say to you, okay, well, if you all of a sudden experience uncontrollable crying or this type of emotion or whatever, please contact us. No one told me. No one warned me. No one.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't get a warning about
Nobody.
it.
I was
either.
thinking of all my children.
Karen,
Neither did I.
Karen, how many
the-
of your kids? Karen, how many of your kids did you have it with?
I'm cutting out.
It's okay.
I just cut
Karen,
out again.
Karen, how many of your children did you have depression with?
So I developed depression as a late teenager, and so I was already on meds, and it was determined that it was better for me to take them throughout my pregnancy than to not take them at all. And so even so, I nursed for over 2 years with each child. And so if you want to, this man says postpartum is 4 weeks. After I stopped nursing, however long after 2 years it was, I still had a hormone drop. That's considered a postpartum thing because you're not nursing your cat. I'm not nursing my husband. It was the babies, so that's postpartum still.
I think
4
it's hard
weeks.
for men to understand this kind of like a depression or any sort of mental health associated with this because they've never experienced, they cannot experience something like this.
Right. It's very hard to understand how your body could take over and your mind could take over, and you can't really control the happiness.
And how your hormones rule your life. I mean, I'm on HRT now, and it helps, especially with the hot flashes and stuff. But if I'm not on them,
right,
I'm a monster, more so than usual. I'm very grumpy a lot.
Yeah. Well, anytime after a girl starts her period, and you can be a girl, you can be under 13 and start it. I was 11. From that point on, every week of the month fluctuates your hormones. You're in different phases of the month. Nobody teaches that. That was never taught, not to men or women.
Our kid was 9.
Jeez.
Oh my
Wow.
God,
Yeah.
that's the age that my niece, and Vanessa, I'm glad you just said that because my niece was 9 years old. And honestly, I think it's because of all the additives and the hormones that are put in milk and stuff like that. I mean, who has ever heard of a 9-year-old?
It's way too common now.
I believe so because girls are developing earlier. I believe it's because of all the preservatives and the hormones, but that's a whole nother story.
I didn't give her much of that. And now obviously I'll let her eat whatever she wants. She's 12 now, but when she was little, I mean, I made all of her baby food out of vegetables.
But no, I'm just talking about milk from the grocery store.
She wouldn't drink it.
Older than y'all. I'm 58.
We would
I
have
think-
calcium fortified juices, but we wouldn't have milk because I saw it as they're for baby cows and people say stuff about the hormones. So I didn't
Oh, I'm
want
like
her to
that
have it.
too. I was like that too.
I mean, I tried. I was pretty young when I had mine, to be honest. I think I was 10, so it's not that it was right before her 10th birthday, so she's kind of right in line with mom. All right, let's see.
All right, let's go back. Sorry, we
Sorry.
keep derailing the conversation.
No, that's
we're
how
gonna, we're gonna have to have multiple streams, ladies. You know this, right?
I love it.
I'm happy to do this every Wednesday and Sunday. That's when we
I-
normally do.
I
And
am
Chris,
more than I will join you every Sunday.
I love it.
Every week I can't, but yeah, I love the conversation, and
It's important.
I love the fact that people are open to discuss it. And like I said, I'm 58, so I'm a little bit older than you ladies.
and
been
Chris, I know
done that,
you can't.
you know.
Chris, I know you can't relate to a lot of this stuff, but I mean, you don't have to be quiet. You can say anything you want at any point.
I'm letting you guys
Okay.
talk.
Well, I mean, Chris can't relate to the period ship, but he can relate to everything else. That's why we love Chris, you know.
There's one part of this that particularly got under my skin, but I'm waiting for that part to come up.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
Let's move. Okay.
Familiar with that particular topic, or just anybody that has a random psychiatry degree?
Well, there are only certain people that they think of or consider, people that Dr. Dietz has thought of in terms of having a robust career and
You have a
background.
robust career?
I've been active as a teacher and as a clinician over about 20 years, and I've been a full professor at Penn and Jefferson and Georgetown,
So that's in your curriculum vitae, correct?
the 3 professor level appointments.
All of your stuff, the things you wrote, things that you're interested in, your fellowships, professorships, all that, right?
Yes,
Okay. And that's introduced into evidence by the DA, right?
yes.
So the jury's going to have it to look at, right?
Okay, I didn't know
Let's
that.
just take a look at it now. Is it your understanding that when you are, and I mean you individually, not Pardeep Associates, requested to look at and investigate into the lack of criminal responsibility of a individual charged with a crime, that you got to try to be independent?
Being independent is the
The
expectation.
answer, yes, you try to be independent?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Is it appropriate for you to evaluate an individual with another Park Dietz associate guy?
Are you referring to Dr. Habran?
I am referring to Dr. Halbert. He's another one of the DA's.
Look at that
witnesses in this case,
smile.
right?
Correct.
And you know Halbert, right?
I had not met him until we jointly went to do the evaluation this April.
Jointly went to do the evaluation.
Yes.
What did you do, both ride in the same car over to Tewksbury to talk to her?
No,
Did you have separate cars?
we did.
And then you met up beforehand and you went in to meet with Lindsay?
Yes, I
Both
think
of you
that was.
together? Both of you together?
Yes,
So you work under the umbrella of Park Dietz and Associates. Halbrun, who's going to be testifying Monday for the government, works under the umbrella of.
I don't mean to defend him in any way, but chances are they wouldn't let them go see Lindsay. So it was done by court order, and this is all they would agree to. So they had to see her together, is my guess. Because if they
feel
didn't
like-
know each other, why else would they?
Well, I'm wondering, wouldn't they have objected and said, well, that's what the court order was? Like, so that the jury wouldn't be confused.
The 3 rebuttal witnesses, this gentleman and Halbert and whatever his name is, they are all under, from my inside information, they are all under the same umbrella. And I think what is the most damning is the fact that how can you testify to someone's current state of mind when you're seeing her in 2006 versus 2023? We don't know if her medications have been stabilized, and you know there's so many differentials, but
Well, it's definitely not an independent review of her
Oh,
if you
totally
are doing it with other people. And I
It's-
mean, that's
right,
the
right.
point he's trying to make. But I
Right,
would
and you would
think
discuss
that
it.
professionally they would know, like, that's not the way that we do things, then it isn't an independent review if you're discussing it with
It's
another
not.
professional.
No, and
Exactly. That's a
it's
collaboration.
It's
Right.
not an independent review, and I'll email you girls the information on how these 3 rebuttal witnesses are conjoined.
Well,
I
they
got-
all work for the Andrea Yates liar doctor.
Park
They all work with. Let me look at it real quick. They all
Is it
work
Park
with,
Dietz?
They all work.
Yeah, I think that his letterhead said Park Dietz, and I'm guessing that's kind of like
But they all work for. Hold on, I've got to go back.
Brian Hearn in the comments, they didn't discuss it. He said they disagreed but didn't discuss it. Well, they did discuss in some manner, because if they disagreed, they had to know they disagreed, which means they had to discuss it.
right.
Yeah, they all work for Jeepers Creepers. I'll email it to you. I don't want to
Okay.
the show, but
Yeah.
I'll email it to you. But their communication and their association is what makes this so troublesome.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Let's
it's okay.
let's get some more Adams
Incestuous.
family.
Okay.
Black Dietz and Associates, and the both of you interviewed her at the same time, is what you're telling us, Jerry?
Yes.
In your opinion, is that appropriate, sir?
Yes.
Did you talk to Kirk about your opinion?
We have talked about each other's opinion. We have different opinions as far as I understand it.
Did you talk to him about his report?
No,
No?
I have not talked to him about his
Have you
report.
talked to him about testifying here today?
Not in terms of content.
What does that
No.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
The other day he called me and said, what day are you going up to Boston?
Okay.
And
Shipping up to Boston. Did you tell him?
no, I wasn't sure what day I was going up to Boston.
Okay. Did you review his report?
I have reviewed his report.
All right. And has he reviewed your report?
I don't know. I assume so, but I don't know.
Now, looking at your CV, you indicate that you're educated at Cornell, you got your medical degree, you had some fellowships. Do you have any particular interest in your practice, sir?
Yes.
And you have licensure in Delaware, right?
Yes.
Pennsylvania,
Yes.
District of Columbia?
Not at the moment.
It says 2005 to the present, but not anymore.
Well, I'm not sure what date that CV is, but I allowed my DC.
2005 to present. 2005 is last year. I don't know if I've updated that. When would you? What can somebody explain this to me, like where that does make sense?
You would update it anytime something new happens or doesn't happen in your professional life. Your CV is literally your walking resume that you hand out in order to testify. And so it would be weird for him to not update.
Okay, but how long is a license good for? Because if he got it in 2005, that's last year. I don't get it.
No, 2005.
Oh,
Not
2000
25.
Oh, you're
Not
right.
2025.
It's okay. It's Sunday night. It's okay.
I need more coffee. 2005 to present would be a long time. Oh, why was I
Yeah.
thinking 2025? I was like, that's less than a year. Okay, so it did make sense because I misheard it.
I'm
All
sorry,
right.
y'all. I have a doggy that has a very deep bark.
You just need to give your pup kisses.
She gets lots of kisses, but she sees other doggies walk by, so I finally decided to come outside. So I apologize if I'm going off camera and muting my mic.
It's fine.
Okay, thanks. I'm so sorry.
License to not be renewed.
Maryland,
Same, I let it not be renewed.
New York,
I actually renewed that recently.
Massachusetts,
Ooh.
No, I haven't had that since I left here.
South Carolina,
I haven't renewed that in many years.
Connecticut,
Same,
Virginia.
same.
So what does that mean?
That's still an impressive amount of states to be licensed
It
in.
really is.
It's a lot, even though some of them have lapsed. So,
Well,
I mean,
it is-
kudos to him.
It is an impressive amount of states, but allow me to ask you this. I mean, to understand, like I have a real estate license, and you know when you have licensure, to lose that and not renew it, it's not like you can just renew it immediately. You have to take multiple courses, um, refresher courses. So why would somebody, and I'm just asking this hypothetically, why would somebody with his credentials, I guess you would say, uh, why would you allow your license to expire? Because to renew it is going to require, and allegedly, it's going to require a lot of extra training
Right.
or extra fees rather than
Did he?
paying.
Right. Did he? I get suspicious when I hear he didn't renew
It
it.
doesn't make any sense to me. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Especially if renewing it means just sort of like paying.
Right,
another fee.
renewing it, you're going to pay maybe I don't know what the fee is, but maybe $100, $200. But when you let a license expire, we all know, anybody who's ever held a professional license, when it expires, you're tripling the cost, and you're at the risk of going back to school again. That none of that makes any sense to me. That's why I'm saying he's pay for play. Just my opinion.
Oh, I'm just looking at this comment that I see in here. Was that deleted?
Which comment?
Which one?
Somebody said something about baby killers.
Oh no, I see it. That's the one I responded to because it was really gross. People sent
I
clips
didn't
of
see that.
baby killer supporters.
Buddha-
Apparently, I was on the show.
Oh,
Because
I
I was
see
standing
the
next to
person
Reddington.
right now. I see who it is. And guess what? That person,
Oh,
that,
okay, good. You deleted it. Thank you. I
that
mean,
Brian,
look,
Yeah.
look,
Yeah.
and
Send him
obviously
out.
your name's Brian, so I'm sure that you don't understand this. Luckily, I have a loving husband that does. Women's health, even mental health, all women's health does not get the attention it needs. And it was intended to be a standout in support of Lindsay and women's mental health. Now,
And the children.
cheering and the children, but the cheering and stuff like that, I had a problem with that. I was like, you guys, that's a bad look. We're not fangirling over Kevin Reddington. This isn't the point of this. But I understand that there was a lot of energy there. So that was easy to happen. But it was a bad look.
All right.
It was a bad look when I
Brian
saw it.
has got to go.
Yeah, kick that person out.
Where? He's gotta
that
go.
person, I've seen
I'm
that
banning him.
person.
I banned him.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
I've
Gross.
seen that person, and that person is definitely a troll.
I'm not. He's not. He's got to go. Yeah, he told me that I was an AI bot the other day.
Yeah, that person is definitely a
I'm like,
troll.
I'm not
I've
AI.
seen him multiple times, and you know,
Thank you, Natalie.
I think
All
the
right.
issue is we try to have compassion.
Yeah, there's a difference between supporting terrible things and supporting, the change, having empathy and humanity, and also being able to want change and recognize. And I think the thing about Kevin and maybe why this is going on, just from being there and seeing, all of these people's reactions, I believe it is that we have just for so long not been heard. And now you have a 75-year-old white man standing up for women's rights in 2026 as an
And
advocate.
it's a wonderful thing to see. And I think that's why women are cheering.
They're
And
freaking out.
yeah,
Exactly.
But-
We're not dealing with the Susan Smith.
No.
You know, Susan Smith was a horrific person. Also tried to blame her horrific act on an African American man, which could have been beyond detrimental. She was an evil human being. Comparing Susan Smith to Lindsay Clancy or Andrea Yates is just, it's a no.
Horrible.
It's a no. I mean, these are two separate cases. These are two separate.
There are similarities with Andrea Gates.
Andrea and Lindsay, absolutely.
Yeah.
But not Susan Smith.
No, that lady just wanted a boyfriend and
No,
killed her kids.
I could never. If this was Susan Smith's case, there is no way that I would be sitting here with the compassion that I have. There's no way.
I wouldn't be able to watch. I wouldn't be that invested. There are so many things I can relate to with this, and so many other aspects of mental health I can relate to with Chris, unfolding just things he's described to me about, his mental health history. And I'm so glad that K-Shred's here to speak for all these women right now, because hopefully things get changed.
I agree wholeheartedly. Like for myself personally, I book a lot of shows. I speak to a lot of people, and I've heard a lot of stories. Obviously, I booked both of you all.
Yeah.
All three of you, honestly. So I'll sit there and listen objectively to your stories. And if I feel like you're honestly telling the truth, then yes, I want to hear your stories. This is an issue, and this is how I feel about this trial, and I'm just being honest with you. This is horrific. There are no winners, zero winners in this trial. What happened is unspeakable. It is horrific. But my hope, and the only way that I can watch this trial, is just to think that if there's a woman or a man, Chris, like yourself, if there's someone out there that's watching this, and it doesn't need to be postpartum, it does not need to be anything like this, but somebody going, oh my God, this is the way I feel. Mm-hmm. If they can get the help that they so need, and understand that you have to be proactive in your own mental health and your own well-being. If one person can be saved from this trial, from what they will be actually going through in hell, that's my hope with this trial, because no one's winning in this trial.
No, Lindsay will never be okay.
No one. No. She's living in the hell she's living in.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get back to Dr. Fester.
That you have licensure. Does that mean you can be a psychiatrist in these states as long as it's active, or what does that mean?
Licensure means that one can act as a physician when your licensure is in effect, yes.
Okay. And
he could have just said yes.
As far as professional and scientific societies, you belong to the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, right?
Yes.
You belong to the American Academy of Juvenile and Family Court Judges, is that correct?
I don't belong to that group at the moment.
Well, did you? Is that on your resume?
Yes, there was a moment when I was the representative from the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry and the American Psychiatric Association, and also the American Academy of Psychiatry and Law, of all three, to the National Council of Juvenile and Family Court Judges. So at that point, I was a member of the National Council.
So I asked you about your interests or focus as a doctor. Would you agree, sir, that one of the things you put down is that you were involved in ad hoc reviewerships in the Journal of American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, right?
It does say that, yes.
And then American Journal of Addictions?
Yes.
Pediatric Quality and Safety?
Yes.
That's dealing with little kids, right? Pediatrics?
Well, at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, we see patients up to 24.
Okay.
At Nemours, I believe up to 21.
So you also express interest in child psychiatry. This comes under academic responsibilities. Child psychiatry, right?
Yes.
You have been involved in the doctoring course for first-year medical students, right?
Yes.
Supervision of adult psychiatry residents, right?
Yes.
Clinical evaluation, Department of Psychiatry, dealing with children and adolescents, right?
I'm not sure that last one that you read, but...
Number 8 on...
No, but what does it say in its entirety?
Ongoing clinical education of PGY3 residents, Department of Psychiatry, Georgetown University Hospital, Institute for Children and Adolescents.
Do you mean Regional Institute for Children and Adolescents?
Resume, I don't know what it means.
I'm just wanting to make sure I'm responding to your question.
Do you have it with you? I mean, you can look
The
at it.
Regional Institute for Children and Adolescents was a residential center in outside the Beltway where I served for 3 years.
Okay,
He didn't
the focus
ask you
never
where it
on children
was.
and
Right.
adolescents, right?
Not at that time. What you mean when I was at Georgetown?
I'm just looking at your resume.
Okay.
How about lecture of patient safety and quality improvement in child and adolescent mental health? Is that something that you were involved with as a lecturer, sir?
Yes, about
Okay.
patient safety and quality. Yes.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
Just make it quick. You were a lecturer on a morass returns adolescent cannabis, doubles lettuce, and other hallucinogen use, dealing with what, pediatrics, kids?
Yes.
Okay. You also did under lectures by invitation that you've been involved with lecturing on wither psychosis in adolescents, right?
That was the title of a paper I gave. Yes.
So the answer is yes, right?
The answer is I gave that paper. Yes.
Okay. Adolescents accused of murder or manslaughter, right?
Yes.
Okay. Wither psychosis, adolescent killers, a couple of years later, again, maybe an update, right?
Right.
Divorce for the clinician, right?
Right.
Divorce legal process and medical, social, and psychiatric sequelae, right?
Right.
Killer adolescents, drug school in the courts, right?
Right.
Jumping ahead, 2014, for example, you had the morass returns, adolescent cannabis and other hallucinogens, right?
I
2014?
imagine, yes, I don't know exactly which one you're looking at, but that's the title of a lecture that I was giving.
Childhood development and psychopathology, right? Is an interest, right?
It is an interest, yes.
Childhood development, again, in psychopathology, lecture to the United States Department of Justice, right?
Yes.
Lecturing to the United States Department of Justice, Department of Immigration, right?
Yes.
Cognitive bias think tank is another one of the lectures that you gave. Is that correct?
Well, it was a committee or a task force that I co-led about
Okay.
the prospect of diagnostic error when people have cognitive biases.
And what's a cognitive bias? Just curious.
So when you think about diagnoses, there's always a possibility that an individual is sort of guided to one diagnosis or another based on various forms of preconceptions or biases. So a major part of this concept of patient safety is to prevent misdiagnosis. And there are a lot of techniques that are used in medicine and in this case in pediatric
Oh my
hospitals
God, this guy's
and
so
also in this country
boring.
to try to
Right?
make sure that
Blah, blah, blah.
the users or the
Look at him, look at the camera.
diagnosticians' biases don't creep into making the wrong diagnosis.
Research publications, sir.
I'm sorry.
Dealing with
Sometimes the biases
neuropsychiatric, systemic
actually
lupus,
help.
Ugh.
Sometimes the biases help because you are actually using your own experience to understand somebody else. You may recognize something that this fool would be like, nope, 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 nope.
This guy
One
cannot
black
relate
man-
to women.
He cannot relate to anyone, I'm convinced.
He's
No, I-
never
I-
even
Lizard,
touched
maybe a
a
lizard.
breast.
He's
No.
only worked with 10 women since 2001.
He has this, he does this thing where he presents nuanced situations with
Right.
like a degree of certainty. Like when he talks about the DSM at some point, he's very quick to be like, well, this isn't in there, this isn't in there, and it's like, so you never encounter a situation in real life that's not exactly the way it was, like, you know, it doesn't check all the boxes for you. Like, yeah, that was the thing that got on my nerves the most about this guy.
Exactly. I agree with you wholeheartedly, Chris, because well, okay. He also reminds me of, oh gosh, what was her name?
I mean, I'm on the spectrum.
Me
Karen's
too.
on the spectrum. We're not
I
acting
don't
like
claim
this.
this man.
No,
I will not claim him
We
as
don't-
part of my own.
No, I mean,
we don't want him.
Well, and that was
Go
the
back.
thing, like with what was it, Yates, right? Or what was her name? Dr. Tufts.
Yeah.
When she was sitting there and she's like, "Well, it didn't check this box." You know what? We're human beings. We're not boxes.
We're not exactly. That's the problem. That's the
We're
problem with
not
American healthcare.
Listen to us. Talk to us. All right. All right. Sorry. Didn't mean.
Oh my
to-
gosh. No, I'm reading these comments from Hank and
Oh,
Xander, and
Me
it's
too. I just
that's
wish I could
like,
give you a hug.
I know, that's terrible.
I
I
don't
wonder
know. I can see
How many
them.
people are afraid to share their full experience or to the full extent of what's. And I think that I know that you're not alone in that, and I know that Lindsay's not alone in that, and I know that I've gotten so many emails from people and messages over the course of the last, well, since the trial started, regarding that, especially even so. I lost my own friend to postpartum psychosis 13 days after she had her baby. She and I hate this, unalived herself, because that so doesn't do justice to her honor and what happened and what she went through or experienced. But I don't want you to get stricken either. So
Agree.
our mutual friend that we grew up with, we all went to elementary, middle, and high school. Well, they went to high school together. I went to a different school, but we all stayed in touch. She wrote to me. She lost her baby at 38 or 9 weeks, and was talking about how recently, because of this trial, a lot of moms in the loss community are talking about now how they were afraid to even mention this or get help or any of it, because they were so upset at themselves and didn't want to be judged because they had waited so long for a baby, that when they finally got one, they experienced postpartum depression, psychosis, intrusive thoughts, all of these things that they shouldn't have experienced because they've been waiting so long to have a baby. That's a whole nother subsect of women that are coming forward and saying,
that was part of mine.
Well,
That was
I
part of my
agree.
deal too. I was pregnant for essentially 2 years.
Wow.
I had an ectopic pregnancy that had to be terminated
I'm so sorry.
through
So
no.
sorry.
It's okay, but it like termination is not easy. So this went
No.
on. I was pregnant for 4 months. Like it just wouldn't not be there anymore.
Yeah,
I
like
was
your
on
HCG.
really I was on really high doses of methotrexate. My hair started to fall out. I couldn't get out of bed. Like, so I
Wow.
went from that to getting pregnant right away because I was like, I need to get pregnant. I need to get over this. Having a miscarriage, getting pregnant a few months after that, and then I was pregnant with my daughter. So I had like 2 years of pregnancy, and it made me a hot mess by the time I finally had a baby.
I'm so sorry.
Well, and
It's okay.
and
It's okay.
I agree. I feel like so bad for you, but I think again for me personally, I understand that like I said, my friend was so bad she could not be trusted around her child for 6 months. I mean, literally could not be trusted. They were afraid she was going to hurt her own baby. She's the best mother in the world. And her family was too afraid to say anything because they were afraid that the baby would be taken away. So thankfully, she had a mother in law and her mother that would come and take the baby during the day. So she wasn't left alone with the baby. But it's so scary when you have to think about, oh my God, like, are they going to think I'm crazy? Are they going to take my child away? And as a mother, that's your biggest fear because you know you love your child and you don't understand what is going on.
Right.
And it's so sad that we live in the richest country in the world and we have the poorest mental health. I mean,
Our healthcare system is not anything to
So
be
bad.
envious of. It's
it,
pretty
it,
bad.
So
it,
bad.
it certainly is not. It most definitely is not.
One of my best friends is Canadian, and I talk to him. We'll like do face messages all the time, and he makes fun of the United States healthcare system a lot, especially like whenever I started going through all these health problems that came with perimenopause, which, if you know, you know.
Oh, honey, I'm
he-
58. I know. I've been there, done that. I could write the book on it. I rode
he's
down the
like,
street like a damn dog with my head out the window.
he's shocked at how long I have to wait for a doctor's appointment, or like how much I have to pay. My copay is on stuff. He's like, that's free. I'm like, no, it's not free.
No.
Nothing is free.
Well, socialized medicine, and my family is French Canadian, so that's a whole nother topic. But I think the worst part in all of this is like we had a chatter, and I'm not quite sure if you've seen this, but it was a person that was in New York City. Her niece was in New York City, and there was a veteran, a homeless veteran that had a psychotic break, and he literally attacked her, like almost unalived her, and fortunately, the military, because this person had a psychotic break and he was in the military.
Devin,
Yes, helped.
hold on. Devin, I just want you to know they're not ignoring you or have you blocked. This is a co-stream, so Granny Debbie is just in our YouTube channel chat and not in this one.
Oh,
so
okay.
Is that why I can't see anybody? Like, I'm trying to talk to people, but I can't.
Oh no,
I can see Devin.
Granny
I didn't know
Debbie,
y'all-
sub.
I didn't know y'all were doing a
Go
co-stream.
sub to my channel.
Because I was trying to say hi to Devin and Hank, but I couldn't say. I didn't know y'all were co-streaming. I'm like, oh, I feel so freaking rude.
yeah, I set this up. I set this up so that Karen could have it on her channel and we can have it on this one, and hopefully we can do this again
I
because
very
I love
appreciate.
it. This is great.
Absolutely. Me too. Guys, if you're on my channel, sub to their channel, please.
I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
vice
because I
versa.
only have your chat open. I'm like, I'm looking in the back of StreamYard and I can see all these comments, and I'm like, so I'm trying to comment back. And I'm like, why can't I? Okay, now it makes sense. So Devin, Miss Chris, Hank, love you all. Great to see you all here.
All right, let's get back to Uncle Fester.
Okay.
Yes.
Methylaceous age and the neurodevelopment model. That's one of your research publications, right?
Oh, he's so accomplished.
Dealing with psychiatric class.
Faces.
And also in psychiatry to try to make sure that
What happened?
the users or the diagnosticians' biases don't creep into making the wrong diagnosis.
Research publications, sir.
It just
Dealing
skipped on
with,
its own.
Neuropsychiatric, systemic lupus, erythematous age, and the neuro.
I'm gonna get through that.
Psychiatric practice.
Yeah, that was a chapter, not a book. But yes.
Okay, but nevertheless, your focus and your interest is on adolescents that like to smoke weed and drink, right? Okay.
Yeah,
would you agree,
that's what it
sir,
sounded
that
like.
We're interested in the American Psychiatric Press textbook you wrote for substance abuse treatment, right?
Yes.
All right. And think like a psychiatrist, but always a doctor. Be a doctor. Web drugstore perils, drugs, alcohol, bloodstream infections in children's hospital. Focusing on that, right? Where in here does it say that you ever came within breathing distance of a pregnant woman and your practice and your interest in your writings?
So I remember being at the Brigham as a resident and
How long ago was
going
that?
to, how long ago was that?
Yeah, give us a year.
Well, you asked me when.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
starting.
when.
That was the memory I have for that particular situation was 2001.
2001, so 25 years ago.
Right.
What
And
did
so
you do?
since then, I went to the Medical University of South Carolina, and then I went to Georgetown, and all that period up until 2015, I was doing general psychiatry work with.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Isn't your sister a doctor at the Medical University of South Carolina?
Well, depends on which one he's talking about.
No, MUSC is in Charleston. She's
Yes.
at what is that her the one she's what that's where her daughter is a OBGYN, right? Is MUSC.
Her daughter, yeah, MUSC. Yeah. That's
Okay,
and
so
that,
you're-
I think when he says Medical University of South Carolina, I think he's talking about MUSC, not the medical school at the University of South Carolina.
Oh, I think Karen finally got home. Or is it a pit stop?
Now that she's home.
I am home now. My dogs are barking.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Well, yeah, we can
All
hear
right.
you.
I'm home now. Now my dogs are barking.
Okay. I'm gonna put it back on so you can
Sorry.
do your mom stuff. Get them back in the house before
I'm
we jump
listening
back
right
in.
now.
Okay. Let me play Uncle Fester. I can't not see it now.
Areas of focus in peds or in addictions, but also with forensics as an area. I see myself as somebody who's generalist who happens to have a couple of areas of focus. In 2015, I did move from that generalist model to when I left Georgetown, I moved to the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia and the University of Pennsylvania. And in those years, since then, I've been working in pediatric hospitals, where at CHOP, Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, the age is up to 24, and at Nemours, it's up to 21. So that is the overall area of adult and child psychiatry that I've been working in. Throughout the years at Georgetown,
Okay,
I'd like to answer it because I have more to
Hold
tell
on,
you.
let him finish the answer. Go ahead.
So at Georgetown, certainly that was all adult, and Georgetown has its own labor and delivery unit. And so that was plenty of engagement with women who were pregnant or who had just given birth. And then at both Children's Hospital Philadelphia and at Nemours, there are these special units that have been designed for the last several years of high-risk pregnancy units. So actually at CHOP, one of my first roles there was to develop the psychiatry services coverage of the high-risk maternity unit there called the Special Delivery Unit. And I was the co-leader and then the leader of the consultation service at CHOP. And so I led the group of adult and child psychiatrists to tend to the psychiatric needs of that unit.
Oh my God,
Recently
you're so
at Nemours,
boring.
the same unit was built. And so, yes, in these pediatric hospitals, there actually are units of women who are about to have birth, who have just had birth.
Well, I'm sure in these pediatric hospitals, there are women about to have birth and have had birth, and I'm sure that there are competent doctors that treat them.
Right, but there's none like
I would agree.
after
How many women
4 months after birth.
with psychosis have you treated?
Roughly 10 would be my estimate
Name them. I don't believe you.
over the period since 2001.
And
I don't believe him
when you
either.
treat these women, was you involved in, for example, testing them for their mental health?
Well, usually the teaching has been that what was called postpartum psychosis is actually a form of bipolar disorder. So what is important is to say,
I don't necessarily disagree with him. Given what I've heard about her throughout the trial, I don't necessarily disagree with him on that at all. Karen, how do you feel about it when he said that postpartum psychosis is a form of bipolar disorder?
I wonder because I know it hasn't been studied enough, but it certainly
It presents the same way, it
presents.
seems.
Yeah, it really does, and it makes me wonder how many women that end up like with a dual diagnosis or after the fact are in, still have bipolar or had it before or whatnot. I'm really curious about that.
Yeah, that's the impression that I'm getting because what she dealt with is very similar to what Chris dealt with.
Yeah, and my dad as well.
Right. So I wonder if it can just be a hormonal shift and it's not permanent, or
And then
what.
it gets real wild. Yeah, because you're not in
Yeah.
a state of which is why I wonder if she Googled for this reason, can bipolar go away or can you get rid of bipolar or whatever. It was one of her Googles.
It's interesting.
Can it ever go away or whatever? So I wonder if she also sort of wondered if there was a correlation. Sorry, I'm fixing my hair.
I don't know why he felt the need to call that out though. Like as if
Right,
it
that
makes
was not
the
I
appropriate.
agree
subject
with you,
of it-
Chris.
It was downplaying.
Yeah.
For me, it was downplaying, and then also, not giving again how hard bipolar is, or the honor that either one of those two diseases deserve.
Right.
Well,
yeah. Like
he
saying that it's
essentially- Go ahead, Chris.
I was gonna say like saying it's a form of bipolar disorder somehow makes it less unique or less
Right.
Exactly.
like
Exactly.
like it's still the and that was one of my big problems with him is that he's trying to pigeonhole and box these things into little boxes that like
That's
make
the thing.
sense, but the effects of it, the consequences associated with having those issues don't change. It's
Right.
just how he wants to categorize it, which isn't helpful. I don't think. I don't know.
No, and nobody else came to speak of that same thing. And he just the problem is the boxing in of things, and that just
Yeah.
really makes it so harder for anybody else to come forward because you're boxing it in, and now if it's not this, then it's not me.
Well, I can tell you that when I had, the reason I was like, I think I have bipolar disorder is because I met somebody else that had bipolar disorder and they described it to me. And I said, oh, this makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And then when I went to this doctor, the one that I had the issue with, again, it felt like they were being combative with me as to like whether or not I had what I thought I should be diagnosed with. And that sort of resistance, I remember thinking to myself, like, well, maybe I don't have it and there's something else wrong with me. Or maybe, you know what I mean? Like, it makes you kind of resistant to any treatment because
Yeah.
you don't. You
Not
feel
only
like
that, but you're being shot down.
judged. Yeah,
Right.
you're being judged in some way. Yeah.
Right. And think about how many who knows you best? You know you best. Who
Yeah,
wants to
yeah.
go get diagnosed with bipolar?
Nobody.
Is that on your like bingo card for the week? Like they're asking, it's like dumb. If you're gonna if I go to the doctor and I'm telling them, I think I have anxiety, I'm not going to the doctor because I think it would be a great new thing to be added to my
Yeah.
list of things wrong with me.
Yeah.
Like, come on, it's so obnoxious.
Yeah.
I'm going to add the comments to the stage, guys, since we have like 2 different chats. That way everybody
Yes.
can see all
But
of them. And it'll be
I
small,
have-
but
Like for me personally, I have to disagree with like what you're saying, Chris and Vanessa and Karen. You know, to claim that a psychotic break or that type of severe postpartum depression means that you have to have bipolar is so completely wrong. I mean,
Yeah, no, I'm sorry if I misstated
you know,
that.
it's
yeah,
it's
I don't
like-
think it means you have bipolar disorder like permanently, but I think it presents the same way.
yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that. I just know that like when I got what they called the baby blues, you know, I've never had any issues with depression,
Right.
anything of that matter. It hit me like a brick wall. It went away. My friend who suffered it to where she literally could not be trusted around her baby had nothing, had no previous depression, anything of that nature. So I feel like Dr. Mack is trying to box it in and create a, I don't know the way that I want to say it, but say, okay, well, if you're bipolar, you should expect this. I don't
I understand. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying.
trying
in
to
that.
say.
Yeah, I totally get that. And here's another thing.
Yeah.
Lindsay, we have to, so I don't necessarily believe that you develop, I was agreeing that they can present the same way.
Yes.
Like
yes.
if you have bipolar and you kind of want to know what the extensiveness of you're having a psychotic break. So you may be able to empathize, understand, sympathize, and, get it. The person may not have bipolar. They may never even have a problem again. You have to also remember, because Lindsay's actually been diagnosed with bipolar since. Like that's what her
Correct.
diagnosis is now.
But now I have a question for you real quick, because in Cross and everything else, at first they tried saying that no, she did not have it, and then they're trying to claim that she had bipolar 1, and then now they're saying that she has bipolar 2, which are
And she doesn't think she has bipolar, is what I last heard.
yeah, but what they're trying to say, she's not bipolar, but then they keep saying that
Right. My dad has bipolar 1, which I know is very different than bipolar 2.
bipolar 1 and bipolar 2 are completely different.
Chris, what kind of bipolar do you have?
I think I have one.
You have one.
I
Is
think
that
so.
the dangerous one? Okay.
It's
Is
the
it-
harder one. They're both hard, but it's the
Yeah,
more.
I think bipolar 2 they call it bipolar depression, and it's more depression.
It's a more like
So-
rapid cycling type of thing where you may
Maybe,
not
yeah.
necessarily be like you're hypomanic, not
Yeah.
not manic.
Right.
So it's sort of like I don't want to say lesser because everything's horrible if you're going
No,
through.
there's no lesser when it comes to any type of
Not when it comes to your mental health stuff. But
No.
Lindsay also couldn't sleep. And that was one of the things when I'm going, hi, manic. That is a major, like sleep. All I know is when I was 11, all I heard was, we got to let dad sleep. Dad has to sleep. We've got to make sure he gets enough sleep because that would trigger something. Also seasonally, it was like spring and fall. We knew he was going to have, we knew there was a highly likely event of some kind of manic and then depressive state coming, even on his full medication. Not a psychosis per se, but a definite like manic and then very depressive. But the sleep aspect of it, think about when you don't sleep yourself. Think if you have no diagnoses and you don't sleep, you can become, you can see things, you can hear things, you can get like woozy, and it just, now add that times on a scale that is so great. She didn't stand a chance.
She would have had to be like tied to a bed in a place with like for I don't know how long, months, for them to even begin to get this under control, for them to weeks, at least weeks and weeks and weeks, because you can't not sleep. You will never make it.
Well, if you stop and think about it, like, and unfortunately, where I lived I lived here in Texas in the 80s. I'm still here in Texas, but I've moved since then. But uh, there was a drug called methamphetamine that was it ran rampant.
Oh yeah.
And to me, like, you see people that do that, and they're up for days, literally days.
Mm-hmm.
And I can remember going to a party one night, and it was a huge party, and I went there, and there was this person that kept claiming that there was a snake in the corner of the room, and they were screaming that there was a snake and the snake was going to get them, and we're all looking at him like, what? And it was a clothes hanger. They were having a hallucination. So
Oh yeah.
to me, it's like when you're up, with no sleep, you start hallucinating, and then you add a mental disease like bipolar or whatever, and you're not properly medicated, but I don't even know how to describe it. I don't care who you are. If you're up for 48 hours, you're not thinking straight.
No.
Now add medication to it.
No,
And-
you start hallucinating. You get
Dude, this I never seen in my life. I never, like, this person was screaming, and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was wrong with the person. I've never dabbled in anything like that. Never have.
Right.
But it was like they were totally freaking out. I'm looking around, and it was a brown clothes hanger sitting on the ground. So, you never understand really what the power of the mind.
Incredible.
Yeah, what the mind can do, and so that's why I really feel for Lindsay. I mean, and anybody who's watching this trial and they don't have compassion, it's like, how can you not? You know what I mean?
It's wild to me seeing the comments
Yeah.
that people come out with, because I have had depression and anxiety at various points in my life, higher and lower amounts. I've been on medication since I was like 16, 17. I'm in my 40s. I'll never go off of it. My child suffers with very, very hard to treat depression. And, my dad has struggled so hard his whole life, his entire life. And to see these comments that come across, I keep saying, and don't you dare say we're not all Lindsay Clancy. Yeah, I understand we're not all going to unalive anybody. Okay. I have 8 kids. I'm not unaliving them. However,
Exactly.
we are all one step away from a mental health crisis.
And I'm sorry, you're
God
dealing
forbid.
with your children. I'm beyond sorry, Karen.
Oh, thank you.
We're navigating that right now with ours. She's going through some stuff, and we're trying to get her into some kind of therapy that works. She's
It's hard.
Well, I mean, she's very, very openly gay, and she's only 12, and she gets messed with at school a lot for it.
I have a gay son as well.
Sorry,
and so
I'm sorry. That's horrific.
that's
it's
ridiculous. It's awful.
hard for her.
Kids are
Cruel.
But I can't figure out like what the right kind of therapy for her is. I can't figure it out what'll work. She's at this weird age where she's too old to see like a little kid psychiatrist, and most of them don't want to see her until she's like a little bit older, like 16. So yeah,
look for like an integrative type care, that is more on the, and I'm not saying like holistic, they has to be a holistic person, but they tend to be more open in making sure that people of all ages get care, and they understand that you can be 12 but also be more mature, or you can be 16 and be far under mature. The place that we ultimately ended up finding for my son was by chance. Somebody else found it first that I knew, and they said, "Oh my God, Karen, I think you would love this place." And as I read it, I was like, oh, "It's for my son. Like, he needs to go there. I could
It's
go
also
there
a
too."
matter, you have to find somewhere that'll take her insurance, and
Oh, it's awful.
I mean,
it's so gross.
people
There's
taking
another. There lies
mutations.
another problem. The
Oh,
fact
I
that there are
know.
Insurance.
and then the fact that insurance and how much money it costs in general.
I don't have any experience with this, but I wonder if something like one of those online like BetterHelp.com things might work for her. I know.
Actually,
after
no,
all this stuff
but-
with Lindsay Clancy, but I mean, she just needs
No,
somebody
but
to help her
somebody
work
to
through
even-
some of these issues.
I bet it would. And that's actually, we have used that before because my child didn't want to leave the house. And so that was that's better than not having access to it. I would 1,000,000% say yes, do it. Not all that. She was in extreme case where nothing was working
Right.
and she was deteriorating. That's when and if you're postpartum, you should always go face to face with somebody at least first.
Well, I know that Chris can see someone online, but they insist on seeing him every so often in person.
And that's the way it should be, honestly.
That's how my doctor is as well, because my doctor knows that I hate to travel to visit them.
All right, we need to
Oh,
try to
sorry.
get through a little bit more
Oh,
of this
yeah.
because
Yeah, we're
I
gonna
don't.
be here all night if we don't get
I
back.
forgot about that. I have to get up at 5 or I have to leave the house at 5 for court.
All right,
Yeah,
why don't we watch this and cut it off at like 10:30? Does that work for you, Karen?
Yeah,
Sounds
absolutely.
great. Sounds great.
All right.
Let's do a full evaluation of the individual's symptoms and signs, and then treat them and engage in treatment. And usually that's going to be a form of bipolar disorder treatment. That's the teaching that is the general perspective.
So with your wealth of knowledge on women that are pregnant and suffering from postpartum psychosis, do you know whether or not Lindsay was ever diagnosed with postpartum depression?
I believe that the various notes from the clinicians over the year of 2022, 2023 utilize the term unspecified mood disorder.
Right. How about postpartum depression?
I don't think that appellation was used.
Okay. So was she ever administered EPDS?
You mean the Edinburgh?
Yeah. Was she ever administered that?
I don't know if she was or wasn't. I don't remember.
Isn't that something you're in here testifying about this case? Wouldn't that be important to know that she was almost off the chart on the Edinburgh scale for postnatal depression?
Well, I have said that she had depression.
Well, postnatal depression for a woman who's pregnant or had a baby recently is a heck of a lot different than some guy who's just depressed about his job, right?
I don't understand your question.
Well, do you know what her readings were on the Edinburgh test?
Not to my memory at the moment, no.
Why not? You read the medical records, didn't you?
I mean, if you would like to show me,
I don't want to show you anything. I'm asking you as a testifying witness for this jury, did you look at her medical records?
I did.
And the medical records pertain to her being a person that just had a baby, right?
I'm not sure that which records you're talking about, but when can I finish? Can I finish? Can I?
I'm not going to finish. 2022, obviously, we already talked about the summer. She was fine. When did she see Tufts?
She started to see Dr. Tufts in 2022.
When?
I believe it was, well, she went to Dr. Tufts in September, and it was in October that she started taking the medication that Dr. Tufts had prescribed.
Okay, and that was for what?
You mean which medication, or what was the purpose?
Medication.
Sertraline.
And otherwise known as?
Zoloft.
And she took it after a while, is that correct? Is that what you said?
A few weeks, yes.
And the reason she didn't take it was what?
Time, as my evaluation.
Hold
Hold on a second, Doc. Sorry. All right, let's go ahead. Do you want me to re-ask that question?
I'm okay.
Okay.
So over time, Ms. Clancy has avoided taking medications.
She's what?
Avoided taking medications.
Says who?
The description she gave me.
She told you that?
My awareness from my evaluation is that she resists taking medications. And for example,
No. Tell me what you mean by she resists taking medications.
there are individuals in this world who do not want to take medications, and I think she described that she is one of them.
You know she saw Dr. Tufts because she apparently was anxious, right?
Yes.
Prior to that, other than having anxiety about public speaking as a nurse,
Karen, real quick, you're going to end up getting sick if you keep going there because it seems like the entire courtroom is diseased.
It's wild. They have all been coughing, especially Madam Court Reporter, who I sit next to. Good job, buddy. My son just found a donut. Who knows how old it is? I love it. Sorry about that. So, no, you're not coming on the stream. So sorry. They love a good stream. So
So cute.
they are
Then
so
you'd,
sick.
you'd have to pay them.
I know, right? I would. There's probably
Yeah.
some law about that now, right?
Yep.
They are so sick in that courtroom, and I'm like, I make no white blood cells, and I have to take a shot every week in order to make them. I'm like, this is the worst place for me to be. But
Yeah, that
tomorrow's my
sucks.
most vulnerable day of the week. Mondays and Tuesdays are my vulnerable days. So I'll wear. I will not be wearing a mask, but I will just
Wear a mask.
I have to be up at 5:30.
I have to breathe.
Just get the stream started.
Oh, sorry. I know what's right.
All right, let's get back to Dr.
School.
Mack.
and after she had
Hopefully he gets sick.
one of her children, she didn't have any psychiatric history of medications, right?
She had not taken medications, but she had had a lifelong degree of anxiety. It hadn't been at the level of disorder, but she had had
Lifelong.
yes.
Okay. How about grammar school, high school, college? Did she have difficulty that she was anxious?
So what I was saying is that anxiety can drive people, but she had a lot of anxiety and she was hardworking, and the anxiety helped her to be hardworking. But when it comes to medications,
Okay, hold on. Mr. Reddington, go ahead. Doctor, finish the question.
but when it comes to medications, she described that she didn't want to take medications. And an example was the time that after the birth of her second child, that sertraline had been prescribed, but she chose to get through her anxiety and depression by exercising. And that is something that people do. But it also highlights that in this case, she didn't want to be taking medications. And I think that we also understand that in the fall of 2022.
All right. At this point, I'm going to stop. Next question.
My question was, you said that she had a lifelong resistance to taking medication. That's what you said, right?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Then I asked you, grammar school, high school, college, did she have any records, any witnesses, any documents that she had a resistance to taking medication?
Only your description to me.
She didn't tell you that she was
That's
resistant
so
to
annoying.
medication in grammar school and high school and college? What are you making this up?
Objection.
Yeah, sustain. Next
She
question.
didn't tell you that.
What are you making this up? I love it.
No, but he phrases it like she is resistant to taking medication. It makes it sound like if a doctor advises her to take medication, she won't take it.
Exactly.
As
But then,
opposed to,
in
I
the
don't
same
want to be
breath-
on medication.
In the same breath, they'll say she was medicine shopping. So which
That's
is
the
it?
part
Yeah.
that kills me.
Yeah.
Literally, they keep saying that she's medicine shopping, she's doctor shopping. And this man, expert for the Commonwealth, says she refuses medication.
Yeah, in a way that makes it sound like, oh, well, she needs medication, but she won't take it because she's
Right. She's actively.
she's resistant to medication.
right. Right.
That's my issue with
Oh,
this
thank-
whole thing. You know, I mean, honestly, if she was doctor shopping and medication shopping, why is she so desperately begging and saying,
Mhm.
please take me off this? Somebody who is shopping for medication is doing the complete and total opposite. And she's saying, God, this is making me worse. Please take me off of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is the complete opposite. It's
100%.
yeah, and that's what makes it so painfully bad, in my opinion. It's just that you've got somebody that's sitting there going, "Look, you upped it, and I feel like it's making me worse, and now I feel like I'm addicted to this, and I need to take off of this." I mean, I can remember like. And unfortunately, yes, people, I smoke cigarettes. And I can remember taking Chantix.
Mm.
And like it worked great. I completely forgot about smoking. And then but then when they figured out it worked for cigarettes, the price is like, I don't know, like $1,000 almost if you don't have insurance. So I got Wellbutrin, which is the generic brand of it. And I remember taking it just for smoking, and I could not sleep. And I was up and up and up, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't sleep. So then they gave me trazodone. I'm like, wait a second, you're medicating me to make me have a false sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, I was like, you know what, screw this shit, because it was bad. Like, and I'm someone that, you know, just was trying to freaking quit smoking. Do you know what I mean?
100%. 100%. It's
It was
medicate to medicate. To you medicate. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, medicate this, medicate this, and it was like, it's like, you gotta freaking be kidding me. I'm like, you know, screw this. No.
All right, let's get
All
let's
right,
get some
back
more
to it. Sorry.
let's get some more Pugsley action. I switched it up.
he is a little pugly.
I understand her to have told me that generally she did not want to be taking medications. She didn't necessarily specify in grammar school, but that is her basic. Yes, I think that her description was as a adolescent and as a young adult, she was not interested in taking medications.
You really have that written down somewhere?
I'm happy to be proven wrong, but I believe that that's what I understand it to be.
You believe that's what it is, you don't know whether you have it written down somewhere, right?
Can I refer to my report?
Because it's not there.
Well, on page 8, what I had written was, Ms. Clancy's reluctance to take medication generally was accompanied by her concern for medications entering her breast milk. So the general...
Breast milk, she's pregnant. Come on. That's the only time that she indicates that she did not want to take, except for benzos, medication,
Right.
because she was breastfeeding, right?
I don't.
What
I
a
don't
bad
agree.
mom.
I'm happy to be proven wrong, but my understanding...
I'm happy to be proven wrong. Like you were
Yeah, I bet you
literally
are.
just proven wrong.
Right. No, you're not happy about it, sir. You just suck.
And he is never wrong in his mind. I know this type. This guy's
Oh, yeah.
never wrong.
Ever.
Ugh.
is that she described that she generally did not want to take medication,
All right.
benzodiazepines included.
Let's not guess, all right? Let's look at Dr. Mack's report, okay? Medication history. During the period before January 24, 23, she was taking several medications, and that would be Tufts and Gelada and all the rest of them, right?
Okay.
Is that right?
I didn't exactly hear your question. I'm sorry. Can you repeat it?
You said in your report, defendant was taking several medications that had been prescribed for her, right?
In the fall and December of 2022, yes.
So it's real easy. It's Tufts and Gelada that were prescribing these meds, right?
They were among the prescribers, yes.
All right. And her reluctance to take medication was accompanied by her concern for medications entering her what?
I believe it says breast milk.
Breast milk.
I believe.
So other than her concerns as a mother about her breast milk and having these drugs get into an infant's body, when else did she tell you that she was resistant, as you just told this jury, to taking medication? Like she's somebody who doesn't want to take the medication, doesn't care to take the medication. Where is it?
No rule.
Well, I didn't say that she didn't care.
Okay, how about she was resistant?
My recollection, and I'm happy to, if you would like me to spend time finding it.
Prove
I'd
you're
be
wrong,
happy
I know.
to. What?
Prove you're wrong. It's not in your report, though, is it?
Okay.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Now, you had mentioned, sir, I believe, that the DSM is something that you all use in your diagnoses of people, right?
Yes.
And one of the things that you are here to testify about would be postpartum issues, postpartum psychosis, postpartum depression, right?
Are you referring to postpartum psychosis, the disorder, the proposed disorder, or as a symptom?
Well, when you come in here as an expert, hired by the DA to tell this jury that this woman was not suffering from postpartum psychosis, and you in your testimony refer to the fact that you use the DSM to guide you, if that's the right word, in your diagnoses, would you agree with me that that's a fair statement?
That the DSM is the standard for making diagnoses? Yes.
Right. It's not a very good standard, though, is it?
Well, it is the standard.
His
Is
face.
that standard? How about, are there other standards, sir, that, like, for example, World Health Organization, International Disease Control, IDC, have you ever heard of them?
Yes.
Okay. Does the IDC, what does that stand for?
I know, right? They in other countries, they won't even use the DSM.
They're smart.
Yeah. Well, we might start using it less, hopefully.
ICD,
I
What does that
really
stand
hope
for?
so.
the International Classification of Disease.
Does that classify postpartum psychosis?
I think it actually does not.
Does it classify, you think, are you sure?
My recollection is that it does not.
Okay. How about postpartum depression? Does the international category indicate that?
I'm not sure. We in the United States.
No.
use the
I'm asking
DSM.
about the ICD or whatever it is.
I don't know.
Okay, that's good enough. This here is what you're talking about, the DSM though, right? 5 TR, text revision, right?
Yes.
And you're talking about the fact that at some point in DSM 6, there it appears as though postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis will be added into the DSM 6. Is that correct?
Who said that?
I'm asking you if that's what you mean when you told the jury about it possibly being put into the next edition.
There is a syndrome that's been proposed called postpartum psychosis. So I would differentiate that from the idea that the person of psychosis in a postpartum period. The syndrome, proposed syndrome of postpartum psychosis has not been included, and I am not aware that it is going to be included, although I understand there are calls for that. I would also say actually the movement for DSM-6 is not necessarily active at this point, but I would highlight again, because I wrote my college history thesis on the history of the DSMs.
What was the DSM 1, 2, 3 back then?
Well, there's been a classification made by the American Medical Association going back to the end of the 19th century. DSM-1 was in 1952, DSM-2 was 1968, DSM-3 was 1980.
This guy talks so much.
The major change in 1980 was to fall in, as I discussed earlier, the descriptive model for diagnoses. And that is to
I might skip ahead a little bit. Chris, is there any specific, you mentioned there was some part that really made you furious.
This part.
Oh,
It
this
goes
part?
on about
Okay.
the DSM. And like,
All right,
it's a
all right.
book. Who cares? It's like one aspect of it's there to assist with diagnosing something, so you can say, okay, this is what I think is wrong. Like, these are the symptoms this person has. What can I call this? Outside of that, it doesn't have any therapeutic benefit. It's just, I mean, I shouldn't say any therapeutic benefit. I'm not a doctor, but it's not, a manual on how to treat mental illness. It's just a guide.
Right. So you have a big issue with him using it as a tool for diagnosis instead of a tool to assist with a diagnosis.
I have a problem with him mincing words every time he gets an opportunity.
Yeah,
where
he
he,
really does that.
Semantics for him. Oof.
Yeah, it's all about like, well, this isn't in the DSM, and it's like, so what? Like, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It doesn't mean that it's not real, or that it's not it just means it hasn't been published yet, and those things are behind actual research, so it's just annoying.
All right, so looking at this, we have about 15, 20 minutes more. We can keep going, or we could cut it off and maybe touch base on this on Wednesday this week. I don't know if you're up for it, Karen, but we could do a part 2.
Absolutely. I love it.
All right, let's do it Wednesday night, same time.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll get it set up, and then we can do a co-stream. That'd be great.
Absolutely.
All right, sorry to cut it off, guys, but Karen's going to turn into a pumpkin. She has to get up early. I know Joy has to get up early. I do not, but I will.
I cannot wait to go look at the jury's face while he gets back up on the stand, because they've already experienced him. So they're either going to be so done with him and so bored and annoyed, or if you're actually interested in him, that'll be interesting to me. I can't imagine, but.
So when we do this on Wednesday, we'll show maybe more of this, and then the rest of it or whatever else happens on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So it might be a long one. We might have to start at like 7.
Yeah, we can start. We can do much earlier. Yeah.
All right, perfect. I won't be ready for it.
Exactly. I won't be in the mountains.
I unfortunately
Do you guys
will
have
not
fun?
to join until Sunday because of my regular job, but I would love to join anytime you'd like.
Yes.
I would love to be a guest. I adore both of you. I'm so glad that you both agreed. All 3 of you actually agreed to come on the show that I produce.
Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah.
No, it means a lot. And you're now friends of the show. And I'm super excited. So I would love to stream with you all again.
Absolutely.
All right.
It has to be a
Um,
weekend, but I adore you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Seriously, I'm looking
Love
forward
your
to
chat.
talking.
Love both chats.
Yeah.
Chris, do you have any? Do
So
you have any final thoughts, Chris? You've been really quiet.
I know.
so-
I'm so sorry.
No,
We're like
it's
over
okay.
talking.
no, it is completely fine. I've no final thoughts. I think I've said everything I need to say.
Anything anybody
Chris-
wants me to watch tomorrow? Watch out for? Anybody curious about anything specific?
In
Oh,
court,
I'll
Yeah.
be like sending you messages on X.
Okay, do it.
All
Do
right.
it.
well, I'm going to be watching your X feed because
Yes.
I don't believe that Michael will be in court until Tuesday. But
Okay.
the main thing that I want to see as a producer, if you can just, I want to hear more about jury reactions. Like, what are the jurors thinking? Like, what are their reactions? Are they taking notes?
That's funny. I actually said I was going to really focus on, especially now that we're ending, and
Yeah.
and nobody seems to like. Well, some weirdos seem to like this guy, but I cannot wait to look at the jury all day.
Well, and the reason I'm saying that is because for those of you like I said, I produce a show, so YouTube is very wonky with words that I can put into chat, etc. And so words like the S word that
Right.
rhymes
I'll be
with
very careful.
I'd or schmilling,
Yes.
stupid words, I can't repost those.
No.
So I think for me personally, is really more juror reactions.
Yeah, I think that's what people are very
You're doing
interested in.
an amazing job, and we appreciate you.
Well, thank you very much. I'll definitely be staring at the jury because they've been very stoic. Like I said, I'm not joking when I say this is what they look like. However, they have gotten more after autopsy photos last week or the week, whatever the last day where that was such a terribly emotional day.
Yeah.
That bonded them. Like the first time, the 911 call, the original autopsy stuff, it did as well, but this was different. This is much farther into the trial, and they definitely touch each other, tap each other, hand each other stuff. So they're more readable now.
I wonder if they offer them any mental health counseling or something.
Thank you,
Vanessa. I
asked that multiple times. That has been the.
that
I'm gonna
myself.
ask Kevin. I'm gonna ask him that tomorrow.
I was on an airplane once, and one of the engines stopped working while we were in the air, and it wasn't stable, so it was like bouncing, and they had to get us to an airport quickly, and it was terrifying, and we were all really scared.
Wow.
When we got there were people that worked at the airport that were trained, that were immediately on us. Are you okay? Do you need to talk to somebody? Do they do that with jurors?
I can tell you right now that this every time that the judge leaves, especially on the last day of the week or whatnot, or there's going to be an extended absence, he literally says, "Put this case out of your mind." That's the only thing that frustrates. That's literally the only time I ever cringe with this judge, because you can't.
You can't. Yeah. How are you going to do that? You can't just on command say, "Oh, okay, I'll put it over here and go enjoy my weekend. I'll go to a pool party. Yay."
No, right.
What?
Right.
Well,
This is on your mind all the time.
I can personally tell you, I used to work for American Airlines and FedEx a long time ago. So when you get that kind of counseling, it's called CYA, because they
exactly.
They don't want to get sued. But that has been a very big concern of mine with this trial. Is
me from day one said the same thing.
Can they get some help? I mean, and here's another question, and please, Karen, refresh this to me. The way that I understood it was that during the trial, we all know what happened with the 911 call, and by the grace of God, it was not played or it was not recorded. But it was my understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but the autopsy photos, etc., were shown only to the jury, so that way Lindsay did not have to see them. Is that correct or incorrect?
That is correct, because I did see other people reporting that she was crying because she was seeing them. No, that was actually a step taken so that she could not see them. However, where I sit, I was probably the only person in the media section or the gallery that could see them, because I can literally see everything.
You did see them?
I did. I did see all of them.
Oh my God bless America. And here you are, a mother with 8 children. I don't know how you dealt with that.
I mean, listen, it's horrific. I think that I'm lucky in the sense that I worked in police work and was a 911 operator as well, and I've done a lot of public safety. In that, I can compartmentalize certain things that shook me. Still, it did shake me.
That
Oh
is
I
my
could
God,
feel my
I
heart
bet.
rate.
that's
And
something
I've taken
compartmentalize.
crazy calls and seen crazy things. My brother was a fire captain, and he and I, we were actually discussing her aside, so I don't want to get in trouble, and the part about like how they were basically like downplaying it, and how like she had superficial cuts on her neck, and like we were discussing the whole thing, and my brother was he was like, I went to a call not that long ago where they did cut their neck and they did pass right there. And when you're in that state that you're going like for something, so what it was just more of like my brother who could compartmentalize stuff as well, more of a how dare they, and he's not even like watching the trial every day, but he heard
Oh
that
my
part and was
gosh.
like, how dare they?
And honestly, I mean, obviously we need to end the stream soon, but I could see someone, honestly, I can't because my mind would never go there, but someone trying to cut their wrist is one thing. But for someone to physically
Mhm.
take a knife and try to cut their neck,
That's a different level.
that's
Oh, yeah.
a whole different level.
Oh, yeah.
That's a whole different level. Like Chris, Vanessa, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I can't imagine doing something that extreme and then somebody trying to write it off as though it was like for show.
Yeah, that was another
That's
part
crazy.
that was really like their whole medication shopping versus she never took meds, she hated meds. The other thing was the whole she was like faking or
Yeah.
what this is a
Oh,
faking
that was
thing.
beyond disgusting. Beyond.
Those two things really, really, really made me mad.
Oh, listen, I believe we're all on the same page.
Oh yeah.
I love you all. I
love you
adore
guys.
all. Vanessa, Chris, Karen, on behalf of Justice Serve TV, I want to thank you all for being.
Yeah, thanks for
great.
connecting us because
Yes.
I think we all like vibed really well together.
Absolutely. This was great, you
Everybody
guys.
And you all are all.
Sorry about the mountain car ride.
No, it was fine.
No, yeah.
Um,
All of you are welcome. You all have, on behalf of myself, Michael, and Linda, all of you have absolutely 100%. Anytime you want to come on, you're more than welcome. Love you all. I
Love you
do
guys.
have to go, and I love your audience on both ends.
Thank
Um,
you.
To go because
well,
I
to
do
be
have to work
continued,
this
right?
morning.
Yes. To be
Thank
continued.
Thank
Chris,
you
do you want to roll the outro?
Roll.